Stay Tuned Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of a drunken degenerate watching the National Football League.
And welcome everybody to Stay Tuned Sports. Your boy King hanging out with you here on this AFC Divisional Playoff. First half of Sunday, we got the NFC Divisional Playoff coming up. So I should have just said Divisional Playoff Sunday, but what do you know? I'm not a professional. Thank you so much for joining us here, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, if you like anything about this channel, I don't know why you would, but if you do, please hit that like button, hit that share button, let the world know we exist. That certainly would be a huge help and a huge favor to us. Thank you so much if you do that. And of course, as always, if you haven't done so yet, or this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button as we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers and hopefully being monetized on this great and glorious platform known as YouTube. As we know, yesterday the Denver Broncos were able to get a controversial win over the Buffalo Bills, and in doing so, Bo Nix, their starting quarterback, ended up injuring his ankle, broken ankle, not just an injury, it is a broken ankle. He is out for the remainder of the playoffs. He's having surgery on Tuesday to repair the ankle. He's having it down in Birmingham, Alabama, is where the surgery will take place. And then, of course, we had the Seahawks just absolutely dismantling the San Francisco 49ers, the much injured, but still, I had picked them. I thought San Francisco was going to be able to pull a little of that injury magic they've been doing all year out of their ass. The only thing they happened to pull out of their ass was a giant turd, because that's what that game was. It was over by the end of the first quarter, and that was something. That was something. So you have the Broncos, and believe it or not, Jarrett Stidham is going to be the starting quarterback for the AFC Championship game, awaiting the winner of this game, the Houston Texans and the New England Patriots, who is going to go to Mile High for a chance to compete in Super Bowl 60. We're going to find out. Kenneth in the chat, Kenneth Clark says, hello, my friend. How are you doing today? I am doing good today. Great to know about that, Kenneth. Thank you so much. He says, let's go Texans and let's go Rams. Irish Panic usually in the chat here. He's a huge, big Houston Texans fan. He's our resident Houston Texans fan. I know he's nervous today. I don't know if we're going to see him at all in the chat today. He might be super focused and super ready on this game, in which case I understand 1,000%. But if you want to join us, chat room is open. Come in and say hi, say hello, say how you're doing. By the way, if you do join us, if you're on desktop, you can go, if you're in the chat room, go to the top toggle down menu there. It says top chat or live chat. Make sure you're on live chat so you can see everybody's messages there. If you're on mobile, it's a little different. At the top of the chat, it'll just say live chat, but it'll have the two little like bars with little balls on the end of it. Little ball bars, bar balls. Either way, those two little lines with the two little balls on them, you hit on that, and make sure you hit all messages, so that way you can see all messages in the chat. If you do join us and be part of the community here on Stay Tuned Sports, as we are getting ready for the kickoff, they have just finished the national anthem here in America's 250th year of existence. 250 years ago, we're coming up on that July 4th. It's going to be a very important July 4th this year, baby. It's going to be a fun one. Fireworks, burgers, perhaps some stripper poles. We don't know. We'll figure it out, as we always do here in America. So thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. As, again, we are getting ready. They are doing their little Monday night intro here on ESPN. And as we're just waiting to get it going, kicked off, if you will, as I adjust the camera. Probably a little too much, but what are you going to do? What else? Has there been any other breaking news other than, well, we had Bo Nix being injured. Now we've also had Kevin Stefanski was hired by the Atlanta Falcons as their new head coach. What's this? Green Day is going to help open up the Super Bowl by introducing 60 years of MVPs onto the. That's a recipe for disaster. Oh, bless me, bless me, bless me. I Grow Fighting in the chat says, "What's up, brother? Great to see you, I Grow Fighting. Thank you so much for joining us here. Patriots are going to get the ball first here." ELS in the chat, he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Sunday afternoon divisional football between the Texans and the Pats." ELS getting ready for this game, and the kick is away, and the Patriots are going to kneel it down and take a touchback. So they will get the ball starting at their own 35-yard line. And coming onto the field is possible MVP, certainly a candidate for the most valuable player in the NFL, Drake May, for the New England Patriots, looking to make it back to a familiar spot for them. Not in the last 5 years or so, but the AFC Championship Game used to just be the residential home of the New England Patriots. They're looking to get right back there. 1st and 10 from the 35, Drake May. This is going to be a handoff to Ramondre Stevenson, and that is going to go absolutely nowhere. He goes nowhere. 2nd and 10 coming up there as the Texans defense trying to remind everybody they are still the Texans defense. Patriots huddle up, trying to call. They got a different play here to work against this Houston Texans defense on a very kind of icy, sleety, snowy, rainy Foxborough afternoon. Boy, that looked like somebody moved early, but I guess not. Hunter Henry, intended receiver there, incomplete from Drake May. And the Patriots quickly facing a 3rd and 10 here from their own 35-yard line. We've just kicked off here, ladies and gentlemen, in this AFC divisional playoff matchup between the Texans and the Patriots. Texans won the toss. They chose to defer. The Patriots have the ball first here, and they are facing a 3rd and 10 with 14:20 remaining here in the first quarter. Just 40 seconds gone in this game so far. That's how new this is. May throws a little screen pass here. That's going to be to Diggs, and Diggs is going to get 5 yards. They're going to give him a little extra one there to 6, but that is it, and that's going to be nowhere near a first down. And the Patriots, on their first possession, are going 3 and out and will punt the ball away. So the Texans defense on their first series do what many people think the Texans defense is very good at and what they will do this entire game, 3 and out against the New England Patriots. And now the Texans, he's going to field the punt off of a hop and return that one up to the 27-yard line. 45-yard punt, turned for roughly 10 yards. And 1st and 10 coming up here for C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans. ELS in the chat says, "Go Texans," as ELS has picked the Texans. We saw Kenneth in the chat say, "Go Texans." He's picked the Texans in this game as well, I would say. I picked the Patriots, I believe. Did I? I like that Texans defense. I think I did pick the Patriots because I questioned that. I'm not sold on maybe the Texans offense as much. The defense is great, and that defense can win them games. But I think the offense is a huge Achilles heel right now for the Houston Texans, especially with Nico Collins out. C.J. Stroud on 1st and 10, he threw it just a little bit behind Hutchinson there. And, again, this is kind of a bad weather game, so we'll see how the Texans and Stroud can adapt. 2nd and 10 coming up for Houston. Stroud is in shotgun. He's going to hand this one off. That's going to be Woody Marks. And Woody Marks is going to get 3 yards and then pushed right back by that defensive front of the New England Patriots. 3rd down and 7 yards to go for the Houston Texans. They're currently on their own 29-yard line. Stroud takes the snap, back, looks, throws. That is bounced around and almost intercepted by the evil, disgusting Christian Ellis, who somebody still needs to put their helmet way up his asshole for trying to purposely hurt Olszewski and Dart on the Giants in their game earlier this year between the New England Patriots and the New York Giants. Christian Ellis is a giant piece of shit, in case anybody doesn't know that. And even though I did pick the Patriots to win this game, and I don't hate the Patriots as I might have in the past, Christian Ellis is a huge douchebag, and somebody needs to take his knees away from him and get him off the football field as soon as possible for the safety of everybody else involved. The Texans go 3-and-out as well. They've punted the ball away here to the New England Patriots. And Drake May takes off his cape on the sideline as they are getting ready to get back onto the field. A 55-yard punt returned for 18 yards. The New England Patriot 34-yard line, and that is where Drake May is going to come and take over after this particular commercial break. Again, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us here on Stay Tuned Sports. My name is King, hanging out with you here on this beautiful football Sunday. Don't got too many more of these. We have this one. We have next Sunday. That's going to be Championship Game Sunday, and then we have a break. Next Sunday, there's nothing. We have a week without football. Absolutely nothing. And then one final football Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. That'll be coming up. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We're at the end. We are at the end of the road here of the football season. Do you all remember? Do you remember when we were counting this down? Sorry, I'm just combing my non-existent hair here. It gets wild on the sides, and I get like the weird Farquad shit coming on the back. I hate it. It's terrible. We were counting down. We were trying to come up with ideas. What are we going to do? How are we going to count this down? How's this, that, and the other thing. And, boy, I can't wait for it to get here. Kind of boring, all this kind of stuff. And then it's like, boy, I can't wait. We had opening night, Cowboys and Eagles. Remember Jalen Carter spit on Dak Prescott before the game even started and was ejected? And, I mean, just the craziness. It was crazy. And it was a bit of a crazy year, but now we're almost at the end of it. And it just seems like yesterday it all started. Yes, Kenneth in the chat says, hey, remind everybody about the game tomorrow night. What game tomorrow night? The NFL playoffs are done. And we're not doing just the NFL playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. The 2026 National Championship Game for college football. The University of Miami Hurricanes going up against the University of Indiana Hoosiers. Hoosiers. They're going to be coming back here. And we will find out who is the best best college football team in the nation. That's what I meant to say. Words, they're hard. But we'll be covering that game tomorrow night for you as well to see who raises that goofy-ass college football trophy at the end of the year. Will it be Indiana, or will it once again be the University of Miami Hurricanes? That'll be an interesting one. Maybe we'll have Paul back into this chat. I don't know. We haven't seen Paul in a while. Since his Colts are gone, he hasn't been in here. Ramondre Stevenson takes a short pass here from Drake May, and he goes 9 yards. Gets it down to the 43-yard line for, not first down, sorry, that's going to be 2nd and 1 coming up here for the Patriots. I said he gained 9 yards. I don't know why I wanted to say first down. So here we go. Texans back on defense. What are they like in the Patriots? Got their most yardage on a play all game, 9 yards there. 2nd and 1 now from the 43. May under center. This one's going to be a handoff to Ramondre Stevenson. He breaks it out to the right side, and he's got some room, and he's deep into Houston territory before he's pushed out of bounds. A 20-yard run for Ramondre Stevenson down to the Texans' 37-yard line. And now we get to say 1st and 10, New England Patriots. Patriots wearing their silver helmets, their navy blue jerseys with red, white, and red hoops over the shoulders, and their silver pants. Texans wearing navy blue helmets, white jerseys, and white pants. Pitch out here on 1st and 10, and that's going to be a loss of 2 yards for Trayvon Henderson, who came into the game there, giving Ramondre Stevenson a bit of a breather. 2nd and 12 upcoming for the Patriots at the 39-yard line of the Texans. Hope everybody had a good night's sleep last night. Hope everybody is feeling a little better today, especially, I'd imagine if you're from Buffalo or if you're a Niners fan, you're not feeling that great. But as a Giants fan whose team has sucked for 15 years, listen, the sun will come out tomorrow. Oh, no! I thought that might have been a fumble. It was not. That was Trayvon Henderson again with a short pass, and he loses 2 more yards. 3rd and 14, now back at the Texans' 41. So the Patriots have a decent play, get 20 yards on a run, and now they've gone backwards on 2 straight plays. Third and 14. He's got trips to the right, does Drake May. He takes a snap in shotgun. He looks. He throws over the middle. That's going to be caught and a yard short by Stephon Diggs. It's going to be 4th and 1 down at the 28. If you're the Patriots, do you go or do you take the points? Do you go or you take the points? Points might be at a premium against this Houston Texans team. ESPN Analytics on a screen says go for it. I've never seen that thing not say go for it. That thing is always saying go for it. 4th and 1 here at the 28-yard line. They have to get to the 27 for a first down. May's in shotgun. Play clock at 2. They get the snap off. May throws over the middle. Caught! And he's wide open. That's going to be a touchdown for the Patriots. Oh, my. Demario Douglas over the middle. He got past the coverage. The coverage seemed to have maybe fallen down on the play, and once the ball got past that, it was smooth sailing. And on 4th and 1, the Patriots not only get the first down, they get the touchdown, and they take an early lead here in the AFC divisional playoffs. Extra point is up, and it is good. And like that, the Patriots take a 7-0 lead. 9:35 remaining in the first quarter. Can the Texans answer back? Can their offense find a little bit of rhythm like the Patriots did on that particular drive? Well, for some of that drive. Trayvon Henderson had a little bit of trouble finding any kind of rhythm or getting going there. But Ramondre Stevenson, he found a little bit. Stephon Diggs had another catch on that one, a big one, made it 4th and 1, had that 9-yard catch, and then Demario Douglas takes it in 28 yards on a 4th and 1 for the touchdown and the 7-0 lead for the New England Patriots. Thank you so much for joining us here, ladies and gentlemen, on Stay Tuned Sports. Oh, sorry, got a little coffee burp there. That's terrible. My name is King. If you like any part of this broadcast, any part of this stream, anything at all, and I don't know why you would, but if you do, please hit that like button. Hit that share button. Let the world know this channel exists. That certainly does help us as well. A tremendous amount. You have no idea how much that helps us. And, of course, as always, if you haven't done so yet, or equally so, if this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell as we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers and hopefully being monetized on this great and glorious platform known as YouTube. If you want to help us out a little bit more directly, we have a link for our donation station and our merch store in the top of the chat and in the description below. One of the things that you can get in that particular merch store, I'm sure a lot of Bills fans would be interested in this right now. Sorry about the inability to talk. That's probably something I should work on. Fuck the Refs hoodie and t-shirts available right now over at the Stay Tuned Sports merch store. Comes pre-pixelated, so you don't have to worry about any of your local obscenity laws, and everybody will get the message and know exactly what you're talking about. Fuck the Refs hoodies and t-shirts available right now over at bit.ly/staytunedmerch. That's bit.ly/staytunedmerch. Or like I said, link is in the top of the chat or in the description below. I Grow Fighting in the chat says, I'm heating up the meat for my walk-in tacos. You got me thinking about it. Like I wouldn't mind. Yeah, look at me. Well, it was that close away from being a great defensive play, and instead ends up being a 28-yard touchdown for Drake May, Demario Douglas, and the New England Patriots. Why am I yawning? I've been drinking enough coffee. Do I need more coffee? Apparently I need to be far more caffeinated. Braxton Berrios just trips over his own feet and crashes down to the turf on the kickoff. And I don't think he's going to make it to the 30-yard line. That's going to be the 28-yard line. So here we go. They are indeed at the 29 is where they've spotted him. Stroud under center to start this drive. From the 29, we've got a handoff here. That's going to be Woody Marks. Loses his hat on that one. Only gets about 2 yards. 2nd and 8 upcoming. No flag or penalty for Woody Marks losing his helmet. Oof. Yeah, he got pretty, a couple of billiard balls. Jesus Christ, I cannot speak today, and that is a problem. 2nd and 8, Stroud steps back. He's going to throw, and knocked away. Incomplete. Jaden Higgins was the target on that play. But Carlton Davis comes in and knocks it away. Great defense. 3rd and 8 from the 31-yard line coming up for the Texans. As you can see on the slow-mo play there, the snow, the sleet coming down at Foxborough Stadium. Actually, it's Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, but I remember when it was Foxborough before they built Gillette Stadium, so I'm just an old head. Leave me alone. Stroud's going to throw on the move, and he's got his tight end, and his tight end is going to the 40, to the 30, and it is finally pushed down at the 26-yard line of the Patriots. A 42-yard game for Dalton Schultz. And the Houston Texans... And just a lapse of defense there. A lack of contain once Stroud got out of the pocket on the part of the Patriots. Everybody had just left Dalton Schultz alone, and he had nothing but green plastic in front of him. So now from the 27-yard line of the Patriots, Stroud under center. And it looks like somebody moved on the Texans. And that's going to break the cherry on our flag counter today. First penalty of the day. First flag of the day. And that's the thing. We don't count penalties. We count flags no matter what. If it's declined, if it's a picked up flag, if it's a mistake, doesn't matter. Whatever the flag is, if there's a flag thrown, we count the flags because everyone of those flags thrown is an interruption in the game and usually just a bunch of bullshit. Oh, Stroud gets rushed, but he's able to get it away. Throws caught by Higgins. That's going to be a gain of 9 yards, and that's going to make it 2nd and 6 now from the Patriots' 23-yard line. Texans looking to get on the board here on this drive, whether it's 3 or 6 or 7. You'd like it to be 7 if you're a Texans fan, clearly. 7:18 and counting here in the first. Stroud takes the snap, throws. That is bounced up in the air and falls harmlessly to the ground without being intercepted, especially by that giant douchebag piece of shit, Christian Ellis. 3rd and 6 upcoming here for the Houston Texans. Christian Ellis is a piece of shit, and I wish somebody would seriously, for the safety of all the other players out there, they need, like hockey players, they got to police themselves. They should police themselves, and somebody needs to put a helmet square in his patella. C.J. Stroud throws here on 3rd and 6, and that's going to be caught. And Christian Kirk is going to stanky leg his way down to about the 12. But we got a flag here. Hold on. What do we got here, ladies and gentlemen? What do we got here? The officials slowing down play, having the discussion in this gross-ass weather. They are going to call face mask on the Patriots, on Carlton Davis, and just the ever so slightest bit of a face mask, but that is going to be the call. So that's going to move it all the way down to the 6-yard line, half the distance to the goal. 1st and goal, Texans, as they are now knocking on that end zone door. Yeah. Forgive me, I don't care. Handoff here to Woody Marks on 1st down, and he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage and no further. 2nd and goal from the 6. Upcoming for the Tejanos. By the way, thank you so much for watching us here on Stay Tuned Sports. My name is King. Like anything that you're watching? Don't know why you would. Don't know why you're watching along with us, but if you are, thank you so very much for doing so. And hit that like button, hit that share button, let the world know this channel exists. And, of course, as always, if you haven't done so yet or it's your first time here, please hit that subscribe button. 6:23 remaining. C.J. Stroud, he's going to roll out to his right. He's going to dump this one off, and that's going to get down to the 1.5-yard line. Indeed, it's going to be about a 5-yard pass there to Schultze again. So 3rd and goal for the Texans from the 1. Can the Patriots keep them out? Or will the Texans break that plane and get into the end zone for a sweet, cool 6 points? Tommy Togiai in at fullback for the Texans. He's going to lead the way. He's going to block for Woody Marks, who just walks on in untouched. And that's a touchdown for the Houston Texans. And they are an extra point away from tying this game up. Oh, wait, hold on. We got a flag. Oh, no. Take the touchdown off the board. It's an illegal shift on the Texans. Oh, disaster. And that moves it from 3rd and goal from the 1 to 3rd and goal from the 6. Oh, no. So now 3rd and goal from the 6. Stroud takes the snap. He's going to look. He's going to look. Boy, he's got time. Getting rushed. Now he just throws it into the corner of the end zone where nobody is there. Incomplete. 4th and goal. Will the Texans go for it, or will they put on the field goal unit to get some kind of points here? No, they're going to go for the field goal. Wow. Unbelievable. The Texans had a touchdown, got taken away by not being set, was Dalton Schultz on an illegal shift. And the Texans are going to have to settle for 3, and they do. 7-3. The New England Patriots still lead over the Houston Texans here in the first quarter. 5:26 remaining. And there we are. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we got another game coming up after this. Of course, we've got the Rams and we've got the Bears coming up at 6:30. You can watch along with us. That game is going to be over it's on NBC, I believe, and then NBC and the Cock, as it were, NBC Peacock. It'll be on over there, so you can watch along with us as the Rams travel to very frigid Chicago and Soldier Field to take on the Bears to see who will have the right to go to Seattle to play the Seahawks. And I got to say, of all the teams remaining in the playoffs, Seattle looks like they might be the most dangerous. They look like the most OP, if you will. They really do look like the most overpowered team right now. So I really think that's going to be a tall task for whoever wins that game. As for this one, boy, we'll see. We'll see how this one goes, and we'll see how these teams match up against a Jarrett Stidham-led Broncos team. But right now, it is 7-3. The Patriots lead over the Texans. Can the Patriots continue to lead over this vaunted Texans defense? We're going to find out here in a moment. If you joined us last night for that San Francisco-Seattle game, boy, did you miss a live stream. Or not so much a live stream. You missed a chat room. You missed a chat room that was a very unique situation. That's the thing. You never know when something like that's going to happen. Usually it's going to end up being a Saturday. I can tell you that right now. Usually it's going to end up being a Saturday night. But we had some fun in here. I'm glad everybody was in here and had some fun. I Grow Fighting in the chat. He says, I'm ready for the NFL to be on its own platform. Every game is on a different thing, and I don't want to sign up for cable. It's getting to the point now where the whole idea of the streaming services and, like cut the cord and getting rid of cable and stuff like that seemed like a great idea. But the problem is all the streaming services that they've done now to create their own individual thing have made it to the point where you might as well just pay for fucking cable and get the shit anyway, because you're paying just as much, if not more now, to get all the things you want. Even if it's a little bit more like a la carte situation. And even some cable companies have started doing the a la carte thing instead of having the full-on packages. They've been doing where you can go ahead and have the, you can pick which channels you want, and based on that, and that's becoming a lot cheaper. And I started doing that because I think of the streaming services and how expensive they are. And, the Patriots, it's down to the 22, and then they fumble. He might have been down, but the Patriots recover it anyway. And they do call him down. It's going to be Patriot ball, 1st and 10 from the 22. You know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. Anytime we make a reference to 22 or 13, our good friend Taylor Swift will jump on the screen with us here and join us for a good time during these playoff games. Thank you so much for joining us here on. Listen, and if Taylor Swift is one of the reasons that make you like this channel, hit the like button for Taylor. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Drake May on a delay is going to hand this off, and that's going to go nowhere. In fact, might even be lost a yard there for Trayvon Henderson, 2nd and 10. In fact, they say no gain, so it's still 2nd and 10 on the 22, so Taylor gets to remain on the screen for a little while longer. 4:45 remaining in the first quarter. Drake May in shotgun. Drake May takes the snap, fakes the handoff, throws. That looks like it was hit at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete. 3rd and 10 for the New England Patriots. iGrow Fighting in the chat says, NFL Plus is the way to go, but currently you can only watch on phones and tablets. The thing with the NFL should, and I've said this for a long time, NFL games should always be on free over-the-air television. No matter what. Oh, Monday night, have it on ABC. Like they started doing it because they put it on ESPN, tried to do the exclusivity on ESPN for a while and everything like that. NBC, Sunday night is on there. Oh, Drake May hit as he tried to throw. I think that's a fumble. The ball is still loose. And that's going to be down at about the 3-yard line. And it's recovered by New England back on their own 3. It's going to be 4th and 29. Holy shit. And that is indeed a fumble. That is not a forward pass. That is a fumble. Varunk58 in the chat says, would you bet under 45.5 live right now, mate? I'm not a big betting man, but under 45 points in this game with the way the weather is and both these yeah, I would. But then again, I'm pretty bad at betting. By the way, there's the punt, and the Texans are going to have it in fairly good field position. 1st and 10 for the Texans when they come back, and I will be right back right here on Stay Tuned Sports. Again, we're watching along with the Texans and the Patriots. I don't know why I forgot that for a second. Ooh, I missed something here. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. 2nd and 10, coming up 3rd and 10 now, coming up for the Texans. Missed a little bit there. Sorry about that. We've got Igro Fighting in the chat. He says, oh, all right, this is our time to take over. Dinosaurs didn't have feathers. They are reptiles. Varunk in the chat says, I put 100 on the over-under. Hey, Matt, we'll see what happens. Best of luck to you. I think you might got it. Igro Fighting says, Hunt's ketchup is trash. Release the Epstein files. Stroud throws on the blitz. That's going to be caught by Schultz, and that's going to be, I think he might have got there. Are they going to mark him short? They're going to say he's just short. 4th and 1 down at the Patriots' 38-yard line. They might want to take a look at that. Igro Fighting says, I've been arguing that on Twitter. If teams represent a city, that's both. And well, here's the thing, Igro Fighting, like if there's like a game that's on pay television, on cable, in the local market, it will be broadcast on a live TV station, but only in those local markets that are playing. So that still happens. 4th and 1, Texans going for it. Woody Marks is going to get right to the line, but it's going to be good enough for a first down. He's marked good for a first down, and it is a first down for the Texans at the 37-yard line. Move the chains. 1st and 10, Houston Texans. So that's still part of it. Like if there's a game, like when they do the international games over like in Europe and shit, and they're on NFL Network. Like I think the Jets had one this year, and I think they played. Who did they play? The Vikings. They played. I forget who they played over there, but they did that. But because it was over there and because it was on cable, it was broadcast on the local. I think it was CBS station. Throws. Is that picked? I think he got his feet in. Are they going to say he got his feet in? And they are saying, yes, it's an interception. Catch. 1, and the knee is down. Knee's down. 1 knee equals 2 feet, as we've learned from John Madden. That's in. He goes to the ground, maintains possession. That's an interception for the New England Patriots. Holy shit, what a pick. That is one hell of an interception by Carlton Davis. That's like the 3rd or 4th time we've mentioned his name already in this game. And this time, what a huge play. Picking off C.J. Stroud as they were going down the field. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Patriots at the 18-yard line. Varunk in the chat says, what a moment. And indeed, it was. For the New England Patriots, that was a hell of a pick, man. That was a hell of a goddamn pick. But I go back to the days, to Igro Fighting's point in the chat. I go back, man. It should be you have your games on now. When I was growing up, it was CBS and NBC. Now it's CBS and Fox. But have your games on there. That should be where you have your all your Sunday games and stuff like that. Sunday night is on NBC already, so that's broadcast. Monday night should be on ABC. I know technically they say it's ESPN, but they should stop anything like that and just say screw it. It's on ABC. So you have that. That's free to broadcast. And I know like you've got Amazon bought 10 years and $1 billion for the rights for Thursday Night Football. But first of all, Thursday Night Football should end. Nobody likes Thursday Night Football. Players don't like it. Fans don't like it. Like, nobody likes Thursday Night Football. But they're not going to do that because they make money. And if the NFL is going to make money, they just made $1 billion. They made $100 million every year for 10 years just for having Thursday Night Football. They are not going to stop doing that, okay? So, with that in mind, there needs to be a way to have the Thursday night games, the Amazon Prime games, somehow made to be free for public consumption. You don't have to have Prime to have it. You don't have to have an app to have it. You don't have to do anything like that. Put it, if they can have, put it up on the CW or something, or I don't care. I don't even care. But it needs to be on some kind of public, free-to-air broadcast. And slather the thing in Amazon ads. I don't give a shit. That's fine. You paid the money for it. But get your money's worth out of it. But there shouldn't be an NFL game where it's... And I feel that way about all sports. Like the regional sport networks that are like dying now. I mean, that's... First of all, that couldn't come soon enough. 1st and 10 for the Patriots. Ramondre Stevenson for a 5-yard run. But that needs to be like, hockey games, I think, should be on local television. Baseball games, I think that needs to be on local television. I think the idea of the regional sports network and everything being on cable and pay for cable and you can't watch it. Like, you can't watch. The one reason that baseball, I think, is so disinterested and has lost so many fans over the last 30 years is because people can't watch the game. Drake May, play action, designed run. He runs, but are they going to mark him down or say he fumbled? They're going to say he fumbled the ball. We've got and now they're saying fumble recovered by the Texans. And now we're right back there. Oh, my dear sweet Lord. That is a fumble. May is not down. He is not down by contact. And now we've just had our second turnover of the game. And the Texans have it right back. And that's going to be, where is that going to be? Where is that marked? Where was he going up to? Agro Fighting says, I agree. Any sport tied with a city should be free for TV in that city. I agree. So now at the 27-yard line, the Texans have 1st and 10 again. Stroud steps back. He throws towards the sideline. Now he goes towards Higgins. Higgins gets that catch there. That's good for about 5 yards. 2nd and 5 coming up from the 22. You know what that means. We got to see good old Taylor again. How you doing, Taylor? Great to see you. 30 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Texans get up to the line. DJ Stroud under center. He takes the snap. Hands it off here to Woody Marks. Woody Marks breaks it up to the right side, and he's going to be stopped just short of the first down, literally about 3 inches. And after that 4-yard gain, 3rd and 1, coming up from the 18-yard line. But that's going to end the first quarter at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. The Patriots 7, the Texans 3. We've had Stroud throw an interception. We've had Drake May fumble the ball. And we've had some sleet and snow and some inclement weather. But will we have a Texans touchdown? We'll find out here in just a moment. Thank you so much for joining us and watching along with us here on Stay Tuned Sports. Oh, by the way, Taylor, you're not on the 22 anymore, so you got to go away. Sorry, Taylor. I would love to have Taylor up there the whole time, but, there are rules is rules. Without rules, we wouldn't be a society. We have rules because we are a goddamn society. And thank you so much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, if you like anything about this particular broadcast, please hit that like button. Please hit that share button. Let the world know this channel exists. That's a huge help. Thank you very much if you do that. Of course, as always, if you haven't yet or if you are brand new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button as we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers and hopefully being monetized on this great and glorious platform known as YouTube. As, again, we are a fairly new channel. We're still trying to figure things out. And I'm a bit insane, so we're still trying to work on that as well. You know how it goes. I Grow Fighting in the chat says, I think aliens are in the ocean. So does Pepper Jack. My wife over there, Pepper Jack. You believe you think the aliens are in the ocean, right? Yeah, you think they got like all the orbs and shit down there. Oh yeah, I forgot about the whole alien octopus shit. So that's true. They could be the forebears, the cephalopod forebears down there just chilling out in their space orbs. That could be. Listen, I can't discount anything because we don't know. We don't know shit. As much as we like to think we know shit. Oh, we got shit figured out, man. Of course we do. Trust the science. We know it all. We don't know shit. We have an idea of thinking about how we think shit works. We don't know. Quantum mechanics and all the physics about that shit, like we have a rudimentary understanding of just like the very base layer of like we can't go any deeper than that. We have no idea. Like again, the one thing I always go back to is by our laws of physics, by all the facts of physics that we have, the Milky Way and every galaxy, in fact, should have ripped itself apart already and stars just flung everywhere. Because a galaxy doesn't have enough gravity in it to keep everything gravitationally tied to each other. So how is everything staying there? Dark matter and dark energy. They don't know. 3rd and 1 for the Texans. It's going to be Stover who takes a little bit of the carry there for the sneak. A lot of people doing that kind of Steelers-esque sneak play where they put the tight end under center, quarterback just chills out in the back, and they let the tight end take the hits there. And it's a first down for the Texans down at the 16-yard line, 1st and 10. Stroud back, passes wide open. Woody Marks there in the middle of the field. He gets it down to the 10-yard line before he's shouldered down by the evil piece of shit known as Christian Ellis, who somebody still needs to take out and remove from playing in the NFL. I Grow Fighting in the chat says, if life follows a path of technology, ocean life has a path different than ours because there's no discovery or need for fire, the wheel, etc., etc. Well, Tom Brady's not there, so I think it'll be fine there, I Grow. 2nd and 4, play clock down to 2. Stroud is in shotgun. He's going to hand off here to Woody Marks again, and Woody Marks is going to get no gain. And again, his helmet pops off. Again from Christian Ellis. I wonder if he did so very dirtily, as he does, because he's a dirty piece of shit player, and somebody needs to just do a flying headbutt tackle into the side of his knee. Why do you hate Christian Ellis so much? Because of him trying to purposely injure the Giants' special teamer Olszewski and for trying to murder Jackson Dart. So, in a very dirty, disgusting play and disgusting manner. So, he needs to be a little player's justice taken on him from some of these other NFL players. Stroud throws to the end zone, open, caught, touchdown. And they're not taking this one away with a flag. Christian Kirk pulls it down, and the Texans have the lead, 9-7, pending the extra point. And so the Patriots, the old adage, live by the blitz, die by the blitz. They did man coverage. And the pass beat them. Bear an extra point kick up good. And it is now a full 10-7 lead for the Houston Texans over the New England Patriots here as we are in the second quarter. 12:51 remaining in that second quarter. Texans 10. Patriots 7. Can they answer? Or will the Texans defense start helping them pull away in this game. We're going to find out here, ladies and gentlemen. Currently a 3-point lead. 17 total points there. I know that's what our good friend in the chat, Varunk, he's going to be paying attention to that as he just placed a small little wager, a couple bucks on the over-under. He was wondering, hey, do you feel this game live betting, 45 and the hook for the over-under? How do you feel about betting the under on that? I told him, hey, not my money, so I don't give a shit. And you can do whatever you want, man. That's your fucking deal. I don't bet. If I did, is that a bet I would consider? I think I said, yeah, I would consider it. I didn't say I'd do it. I said I'd consider it. Gambling is terrible, though. It's a terrible blight on this great country of ours, on this great civilization. Gambling is just a way to keep people down and steal their money, making them think that they have a chance at more money when they don't. It's not a skill. It's not good. If you're good at playing like particular games, like maybe some Texas Hold'em poker, something like that, maybe you got yourself a little bit better, a little more 50-50 odds in that sense. Blackjack is much in that same way. It's gambling, but it's a little bit more fairer odds. When you talk about just sports gambling and stuff like that, you're just hoping and praying. You're just throwing your money into a well, and sometimes it may come back with a little bit, but for the most part, and most times, you're losing money overall. So, best thing to say with that is just don't bet. You got that $100? Take that $100. Buy your girl a real nice dinner, some couple of gifts. Buy yourself something nice. You know what I mean? Buy your mom something beautiful. When's the last time you bought your mom something? Get your mom something nice. Don't waste it on any kind of that gambling nonsense. That's what I'll say. All right, Pepper Jack. La-da-da-do, la-da-da-dee. Patriots take the kickoff, and they're going to return it to about the 27, and that's as far as they are going to get. Drake May, first down and 10. That is batted away by the Houston Texans. Incomplete. Kamari Lassiter knocks it down. That was intended for a little bit of booty. Kayshawn Booty, intended receiver, but it is knocked away. Great defense there by Houston. You're going to say that a lot. People have been saying that a lot this year and might say that a lot still in this game. 2nd and 10 from the 27 for the Patriots. I Grow Fighting in the chat says, I'll gamble on fights sometimes. $20 deposit here, $1 bet, $2 bet there. Last me car for a couple months sometimes. Trayvon Henderson gets the handoff only about 3 yards before he is pushed back and tackled. And so we got, 3rd and 7 now coming up for the Patriots up at the 30. I Go Fighting says, yeah, but it always ends up in the house. Yep, dude, the house always wins. That's a saying. That didn't become a saying for no reason. Like, that's the thing. You know, you may think you're up or down at certain points, but at the end of the day, the house always wins. The house always gets their money, and your money is the house's money. Once you walk into the place, it's the house's money. Drake May, he's going to escape some pressure. He's going to pull it down, and he gets a block and gets across the first down marker. First down for the Patriots. Drake May runs for 8 yards on 3rd and 7, moves the chains And it's just what the Patriots needed. Drake May was able to escape the pressure there, escape the pressure again. Got one well-timed block so he could get to the sticks. Did so. And a first down. May hands off here. That's going to be Henderson with the carry and no gain. It is still precipitating down in Foxborough. And Henderson, by the way, is back down onto the turf at Gillette Stadium. Injured on the play, don't know how much. We've got some Patriot fans there sitting all cold in the stadium. Vrunk in the chat says, it's going to be a nice sweat, mate. Makes the game more enjoyable for me. I agree. You can't win long term. Hey, listen, that's the thing. Here's the thing, and I'll say this about anything. If you have the ability to do it, and what I mean by that is, like, if you have the funds, it's not like you're not going to lose. They're not going to shut off your hot water. They're not going to shut off your gas. You're not going to shut off. You're not going to get evicted. It sounds like you might be from England there, Varung. So it's not going to cost you your TV license. As long as it's not any of that, I think you're fine. I think at that point, it's like any other vice. It's like buying cigarettes. Should you do it? No. Do I give a shit if you do? Yeah, it's your money. Do whatever you want, man. As long as it's not something that is going to, like, directly adverse you as far as that goes. We all have our vices. We all have our little, things that maybe aren't either the healthiest things or the best things for us. Some are a lot worse than others. But if you're okay with it, if you don't have an addictive personality, if you're somebody that can throw a couple bucks on something and be like, oh yeah, I just wanted to do it because I had it. And as long as you don't have anything, like I said, if you're willing to lose that much, that's the thing. Don't bet what you're not willing to lose. Understand that, if you put $100 on it, like you said you did for this one, you put $100 on this, you lose that $100. I don't want you to sit there and say, man, I needed that $100 for something, for grocery shopping, for the electric bill, for the gas bill, for the water bill, for whatever it might be. If you lose that $100, I want you to go, man, oh man, I lost $100. Oh well. And then la-di-da-di-da, then you just go on with the rest of your day. That's the way that would have to be. Otherwise, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Just stay the hell away from it. I Grow Fighting in the chat says, dude, if I bet $100 on something, I'd cry. Henderson comes off the field. He's on the sideline. Still have his helmet on, so he looks okay. 2nd and 9 coming up here for the Patriots. Drake May's back looking, throws, and that's going to be in and out of the hands of Booty. So Booty's unable to hold on, and now it is 3rd and 9 from the 39 for the New England Patriots. Now, you're talking to somebody who has 17 cents in his Chime bank account right now, so this is all hypothetical to me anyway. I couldn't imagine. If I had $100, I would think I was literally Elon Musk at this point. 3rd and 9. Drake May in shotgun. Takes the snap. He's back. He's looking. He might have found somebody down the field on the left side. Incomplete. Kyle Williams was the intended receiver, and it seemed to fall right through his fingertips. And that is going to be incomplete, and that's going to be a punt coming up for the New England Patriots. Oh, no. He's got him, and boy, he got his hands on it. And you can sit there and blame the weather, and you can say all the other things, but it's a playoffs, baby. You got to catch that. Fair catch for the Texans. They call it at the 25, 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line for the Texans coming up. Oh, this is my super duper fake New Jersey Devils 2003 Stanley Cup ring. Oh no, it's intercepted. Stroud tried to throw it. It got knocked in the air, and is that returned for a touchdown for the Patriots? Oh, a defensive touchdown on a disaster class for C.J. Stroud and the Texans. Oh, no. And Stroud having problems with the turnovers again. Marcus Jones with the interception returned for the touchdown. Oh, and New England's defense with the real big play there. We all thought it might have been the Texans' defense that got a little bit more of the plays and maybe scoring plays in this game. But the New England defense, they force the ball out into the air from C.J. Stroud. It's picked off and then returned 13-10 by the Patriots, pending the extra point. Patriots got to try to rush and get their field goal unit onto the field for the extra point. Wow. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good, and it is now a 14-10 lead for the Patriots. Stroud did the play action, went to throw, hit as he threw, and just kind of tossed it up there. And Jones gets it and brings it right back. Just an ill-advised decision there from C.J. Stroud. Either you got to eat that, or if you're going to throw it, make sure that it is going out of bounds on a bullet. You can't just kind of toss that up there like that. Terrible, terrible decision from C.J. Stroud. And there you go. Just like that. One mistake costs you 7. And now the Patriots up again, 14-10. They didn't even get a chance to move the possession arrow over because of it. And so I'll just leave it right there on the Texans as they will be getting the kickoff now. After that pick six, Agro Fighting in the chat says that's cool. Oh, about the ring? Yeah, I got this a couple years ago now. I want to say 5 or 6. Shit, it might even be more than that. I think it might actually be closer to 7 years ago. Damn. And I mean, it's I think it's like brass or something. Like it's a bad facsimile. Like you could tell on the letters, like somebody was trying to really. You know, on like especially on the top part. The sides aren't too bad. They did pretty good on the sides. But like the top part, you can kind of see where it says like Stanley Cup. It looks a little wonky. You know, and where it says champions, it looks a little wonky. Now the sides aren't bad. They did a pretty decent job with the sides. Obviously, they had Brodeur on it. I would have probably picked like Danico or something like that, but that's just, you know. And there's the other side there for the Devils. But I think it was like $35. I know it's probably from China. I know it's probably got like lead in it or something. I know it's probably killing me slowly every time I wear it, but I like it. I'm not a Devils fan, and I wanted to have a big giant ring that said, "Hey, I'm a Devils fan." So why not? I Grow Fighting in the chat. He says playing out to be another good playoff game. I'll say, it seems like a nice little back and forth here, and that's what I enjoy. As long as it's not the Seattle-San Francisco game of last night. Like, there are blowouts, and then there's boring blowouts. That game was a boring blowout. If you're going to get blown out, at least entertain me. I Grow Fighting in chat says, I'm from Arkansas, so hockey isn't played or followed by many around here. But I do want to go to see a Predators game, and the UFC uses their arena there, the Bridgestone Arena there. Yes, they do. And yeah, dude, go check out. You guys should check out a Preds game. And, dude, and once you go see a hockey game, it's great. And I think there's some minor league teams in Arkansas. Crafty in the chat says, crazy to think. Bud Crafty, great to see you, buddy. Where you been? He says, crazy to think that this game essentially decides the AFC Championship game. Like, here's the thing. Like, Denver still has a good defense. So are we just discounting the Broncos defense? It's just like, oh, well, they got Jack. Because here's the thing. You know, is Bo Nix? I don't know, man. I've never been huge on Bo. Now, granted, I think Bo Nix is better than Jarrett Stidham. Do not get it wrong. I'm not saying that. There's a reason why Jarrett Stidham is who he is, but hand the ball off a bunch, do a couple short screen passes, and lean on your defense. Woody Marks is going to be brought down a yard behind the line of scrimmage by the piece of shit, dirty-ass Christian Ellis that somebody still hasn't taken out yet and ended his NFL career for being the dirtiest piece of shit player that I've ever seen in the NFL. If only Azeez Al-Shaair played on offense, he could probably do that. 2nd and 11 here for the Texans. C.J. Stroud steps back, looks, throws. That's going to be caught by Xavier Hutchinson. That's going to be good for 12 yards, and that's going to be good for a first down on 2nd and 11, gain of 12. Crafty says the Texans player dragged the Patriots defender into the end zone by his face mask. That's the old adage, say, Crafty. It's not a penalty unless they throw the flag. So on 1st and 10, after the 12-yard gain by Hutchinson, Stroud is in shotgun, takes the snap. It's going to be a handoff to Woody Marks, and he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage again. And again, the Texans will face a 2nd and 11. .8:52 and counting remaining here in the second quarter. Patriots have a 14-10 lead on the back of a pick six. Stroud throws, intercepted. It was off the hands of his receiver and intercept. Oh, wow. Woody Marks, I think he might be concussed. He don't know where he is. Woody Marks tackled his ass, sent his ass to the shadow realm. But it doesn't matter because it's another interception for C.J. Stroud. It was a bit of a overthrow. I think Hutchinson might have been the intended receiver. It hit Hutchinson in the hands, but it was a little high. Went through his hands and then got intercepted again by Woody Marks. Was it? No, it wasn't Woody Marks. Woody Marks is the one who hit him. Oh, so my man got hit by Woody Marks and tackled for nothing. Crafty in the chat says, I wonder how long it's going to be before it's Davis Mills time. I don't know. I don't know if you do that. I don't know if you can do that. At this point, you are riding or dying with C.J. Stroud, Crafty. I hate to tell you that. That's how that goes. Mr. Stealth in the chat. Great to see you, Mr. Stealth. Thank you so much for joining us here on Station Sports. He says, go Piets! We've had a couple of Go Texans in here, but right now we have a Go Pats. And Mr. Stealth, thank you so much for joining us. If you like anything that you're watching here, please hit that like button, hit that share button, let the world know this channel exists. That's a huge help to us. And, of course, if you haven't done so already or this is your first time here, Mr. Stealth, please hit that subscribe button and help us on our road to 1,000 subscribers to hopefully be monetized here on this great and glorious platform known as YouTube. Drake May under center at the 47-yard line. Looks like they were going to do a fake flea flicker there. But instead, it's just going to be Trayvon Henderson running for 5 yards, and he gets it up to the Houston Texans' 43-yard line. 2nd and 5 upcoming for the Patriots. Mr. Stealth, you are a gentleman and a scholar. Verunk says both offenses struggling in this weather. I don't know if it's the weather, because remember, C.J. Stroud had a bit of a turnover problem in Pittsburgh last game, too. Now, they recovered a lot of the fumble. He had a lot of fumbles in that game, and they recovered most of them. Oh, Drake May's going to take a big sack right to the face. Anderson with the sack for the Texans, and that's going to make it 3rd and 13.
But too bad your ass got sacked.
And now, because it is 13, you know, whenever there's a 22 or a 13, we put the lovely Miss Taylor Swift on the board here. So 3rd and 13, all the way back at their own 49-yard line. Trips to the left here for Drake May. He's going to take the snap. He's got time. Throws it to his tight end, Hunter Henry. He's going to get it back down to the 46-yard line of the Texans, but no further. 4th and 8 upcoming for the Patriots, and they will have to punt after that interception. So, Patriots in punt formation. Snap and kick. It is away. Fair catch called for, and it is received at the 9-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Texans from their own 9. When we come back here, 6:33 remaining in the second quarter. 1st and 10 Texans. As ESPN shows us an ad for the Miami and Indiana National Championship Game tomorrow, which we will be covering live here on Stay Tuned Sports. If you want to join us for that tomorrow night to watch along, as I feel like Indiana is going to win their first national championship tomorrow night. Will that happen, or will Miami shock the world and win their, what is it going to be, 5th, 6th national championship, whatever it might be? It might happen. You never know. We'll see tomorrow. And we'll see you here tomorrow night on Stay Tuned Sports. 1st and 10 from the 9. Stroud, play action. He gets hit. Just tosses it up again as he's getting hit. Just Stroud is making a ton of bad decisions here under pressure. Patriots are getting down there. Oh, we've got an injured Texan lineman on the ground here. That's Howard. Number 71 is down. As Stroud landed right on the back of his legs. Oh, and then he stepped on Stroud to have that happen, too. That's not great. But I'll say that. They have an injury timeout here. We will be back after they come back from these messages here. But I'll say this. First real big observation of this game, C.J. Stroud is making terrible decisions under pressure with that ball. He is, and again, we've already seen that happen with the turnovers. And that last turnover was bad. That one could have been another turnover because he's just chucking it up there whenever he's feeling pressure or he's getting hit at the last minute. Like, he's got to realize maybe taking that sack is not the worst thing in the world. The pick six was a bad decision. That last interception that led to the Patriots having the punt here, that was a bad decision. And then that one right there was almost a bad decision. C.J. Stroud already has 3 picks. Howard is walking off the field from what I can see here on Twitter. Albert Breer saying he's walking gingerly back to the sidelines, but it's still good to see him walking off of his own power. By the way, the Texans now have listed Dalton Schultz as out for the rest of the game with a calf injury. So Dalton Schultz out. So the Texans now already without Dalton Schultz, who was a potent weapon for the Texans in this game. Now Titus Howard, their offensive lineman, he is out. He is on the bench with a cape over his shoulders. Second and 10. Stroud getting pressured again. Just chucks this one out of bounds. But again, he kind of short hopped out, and that one could have been picked. That was not nearly as far out of bounds as you want to throw that if you're throwing it away. Again, I am worrying about C.J. Stroud and his decision-making here. He is not making good decisions. He is not making good decisions. Woody Marks, by the way, is questionable with a shoulder injury, I guess, after that hit on the interception. That turned out to be unnecessary. So now 3rd and 10. They don't have Schultz. They don't have Woody Marks. Can C.J. Stroud make something happen? He's going to get pressured and then just throws it down onto the ground. They're going to say it's an incomplete pass, not a fumble, but I think I saw a flag there. No, just somebody's towel? No flag, okay. Crafty says Marks is hurt too. Yeah, Woody Marks is out. I mean, he's not out. He's not listed as out, but he is listed as questionable, I think, as of right now with a shoulder. Dalton Schultz is out. And again, C.J. Stroud, he really fumbled that ball. It's called an incomplete pass because it kind of slid out as his arm was going forward. But that's, again, C.J. Stroud having problem with ball security here and making some bad decisions under pressure. And this is going to be a punt by the Texans. And the Patriots should get decent field position. Going to return it. They got it at the 47 of their own 47 and then went backwards to the 39. So bad decision there. And the Patriots will start this drive 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line. Crafty says that was realistically a fumble, regardless of NFL technicalities. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is again, Stroud having issues with ball security. That one he's lucked out because he got, like the NFL rules say, as long as the ball's going forward in the quarterback's hand, no matter which way, what way, or the other, they're going to call it an incomplete pass. So he got lucky in that sense. But that was just him losing control of the ball. Handoff here to Henderson, and he's going to get 2 or 3 yards on that one. They're going to give him 3, 2nd and 7, up to the Patriots' 47-yard line. So wait, they gave him they started this drive on the 44. He went all the way back to the 39. How they're giving it? And he made the decision to go back to the 39. So that's what I mean. I think that's a little questionable spotting on that one, but that's just me. Anyway, 2nd and 7. Drake May is in shotgun. Takes the snap. Play action. He's got time to throw. Over the middle, wide open is Bodie to the 30, and then kind of slides down. Yeah, he's pissed. Feels like he lost his footing. But either way, that's going to be a 1st down, 25-yard gain. 11 yards after the catch there for Bodie. And now from the Houston Texans 28-yard line, the Patriots will have 1st and 10. Nobody on that Texans team was paying attention to the booty, and that's the problem. You always got to be looking for booty. If you're not looking for booty, you're going to have problems. And right now, the Texans having massive problems in getting some booty. Henderson again with the carry. 3 yards, right up the middle. 3 yards and a cloud of rubber. 2nd and 7 up to the 25 of the Texans. 4:20, smoke him if you got him. Remaining here in the second quarter. Patriots line up with May in shotgun again. He's got trips to the left. Play action. Throws to Booty again, and Booty's going to get it down to the 8-yard line. 1st and goal. Patriots. They're going to say down at the 7? I thought he only got to the 8, but all right. They'll give him the extra yard there, whatever. Usually they give him less yardage. So the Patriots, 1st and goal, they do give him from the 7. They are knocking on the door here. Touchdown and an extra point would give him an 11-point lead. Did he catch that? Holy shit! What a catch by Diggs! Between 2 defenders. And I thought he would have dropped that. I think a lot of other receivers would have dropped that. But Stephon Diggs, as we know, is pretty good. Once he gets his 2 hands around something, he squeezes on for dear life and will not let it go. And that's a touchdown for the Patriots. As they now lead 20-10, and the extra point will make it an 11-point lead. Kick up good. 21-10, the Patriots lead over the Houston Texans. Texans will get the ball first in the second half. Just to make sure everybody is indeed aware of that. So that's been a problem. Booty was a big problem on that drive for the Texans. And then at the end, Diggs is able to choke the life out of that ball to make sure that did not hit the ground. Sometimes you got to Diggs for some booty. And that's what the Patriots did there. They Diggs the booty in New England. Booty. Just like saying it. I'm a 12-year-old, I know. Varunk in the chat says Stroud is drunk. I don't know. Right now we've got, 31 total points. The over-under was 45.5 when Varunk made his bet. We'll keep an eye on that. Will it be over 45.5 for the game total? We're going to find out. Ooh, the voting is getting hot and heavy in the poll as to who is going to win this game. Will it be the Texans? Will it be the Patriots? Right now it is a 50-50 split in the voting between the Space City Horny Bulls and the Foxborough corrupt politicians. Houston takes the kickoff here. They're going to get up to about the 25-yard line. Crafty says, hey, that was a nice job by Diggs gripping onto that ball, but why did he immediately accuse the ball of trying to slander him afterwards? I'm glad we can have this joking time. I'm glad we can just have the nice little back and forth here, you know? Not that we're saying anything, not that it's a joking matter. It's not a joking matter. It is a choking matter, but 1st and 10, Stroud takes a step back, looks, throws. His arm was hit as he throws, and it's almost intercepted again. Jones had his hands on it, but could not bring it down. The Patriots are just getting to Stroud. And I think it's fair to say that Stroud is shook. Stroud is not having a good time. The pressure is getting to him. He's making bad decisions, and on top of that, they're just getting him. They are just getting to him. And we got flags down here before the play. And this will be false start on the Tejanos. I Grow Fighting in the chat says, everything is falling apart. Poor CJ. Barunk in the chat says, the bet looks toast. Not going to lie. You know. But you're from England, so you put a little beans on them toast, man, you're good. You're still good. You're still good. Which, by the way, I don't know why people slander you for that. Beans on toast. I when I was over there in Scotland a couple years ago, about 2 years ago, that big ball from Stroud, bit of a overthrow, and we got a flag down. I had beans on toast. It's not bad. Like I like beans and I like toast. I don't know why everybody's so bad with beans on toast. I like beans on toast. That's good shit. Some of the other shit you guys have, you gotta worry about. What's this flag gonna be? They're going to say pass interference? What? That is not, what? Okay, man, I guess. I don't know. That's a bad call. Ref's trying to keep the Texans in the game here? I don't know. It's a 20-yard penalty, moves it all the way up to the 35-yard line. Well, no, it was moved to the 39-yard line. And Woody Marks, he's back in the game, so his shoulder obviously feeling a little bit better. But that's going to be a 4-yard loss, 2nd and 14 upcoming for the Texans from the 35. There we go. Brunk says, fish finger fries, dude. That's pretty good. I've had the fish and chips also now, too. Very good. But the malted, I'll say this, the malted vinegar is a huge revelation for me. Love that shit. And that's going to be a completed catch, first down at the Patriots' 49-yard line for the Houston Texans. And that's going to bring us down to the 2-minute warning. Higgins had the catch there for 16 yards. Can the Texans get some points on the board before the end of the half? They will get the ball first in the second half. So they have a chance to maybe double up their possessions, double up their points if they can hold on to the ball, if they can make smart decisions. Can they do that? We will find out momentarily. Crafty says, boy, is that Texans receiver Stretch Armstrong? And again, that's the thing, Crafty, is, as I said, Stroud looks shook, and he's making bad throws. He's making bad decisions, and a lot of his throws are overthrows right now. And even Varunk brought it up there. He said Stroud was terrible in the game last week, too, which he was. How many fumbles did he drop? That they were lucky to get back, but he was all over the place. And that's the thing. People look at that game and are like, oh, yeah, Texans, they crushed the Steelers 30-6. That game for 3.5 quarters was 7-6. The Texans didn't really pull away until the end. I think they got one late touchdown, and then the defense took over, and then that's when the Steelers got desperate, and Rodgers threw a couple of desperation passes. They got picked off and returned, and there was a real garbage time touchdown there at the end. Like, that game was not 30-6. That game was 7-6. It was a boring-ass game on Monday night. And C.J. Stroud and the Texans offense didn't play well. That's why I picked the Patriots in this game, because I like the Texans defense. The Texans defense can win them games, but I thought push came to shove. Would the Texans offense be able to do enough to make what the defense was doing count? And I couldn't, after seeing what I saw in that Pittsburgh game, I couldn't quite put that forward for the Texans. Again, I like the Texans. I love Irish. He comes to the chat all the time. I'm sure he's not here because he's 100% focused on the game right now, as well he should be. That's his team. That's his home team. He should be watching this game, locked in. I get it. So this isn't me trying to be offensive to him. I love Irish. We all know that. So I'm not going to, this isn't meant to, shit on him or his team. But yeah, it's just like we're seeing that same kind of thing play out here, where C.J. Stroud, he's got a little bit of pressure. The pressure's getting to him, making him crack. He's making bad decisions. He's making bad throws. 1st and 10, Stroud play action is going to roll out to his left. Throws, and it's intercepted, just as we're talking about it. And that's going to be his 4th interception of the game. Maybe, Crafty, maybe you're right. Maybe it's Davis Mills time. 4 interceptions in the game for C.J. Stroud. And again, he threw it behind Hutchinson. It was a bad throw. And, yep, he got both feet down with possession. He bobbled it for a second. But that is a pick. Igro Fighting says, okay, bench the kid. I'm not hating. And that's what I mean. This isn't coming from a hating standpoint. And even before, when Crafty was talking about it after 3 picks, I was like, I think you're going to ride with Stroud. I think you're riding with Stroud. They're not going to do. After 4 picks, he's had 5 turnovers today. And they only counting 1 from last week, but he fumbled the ball like 5 times. He was able, the Texans were able to recover those fumbles last week. But those were potential game-changing fumbles that he had in that game. So, Jimbo in the chat says 4 interceptions and the Pats only up by 11. God damn it, Jimbo. Varunk in the chat says Stroud needs to be replaced. Shambles. I love having an English guy in here. That's good. Bloody shambles he is. Oh, the Texans are shambles. They're in shambles. Drake May. And I haven't even drank anything yet. Drake May throws, not an interception, bounces off, incomplete. Williams was his intended receiver, Kyle Williams, and it's going to be 3rd and 7 from the 49. Can the Patriots take advantage of these turnovers? Again, the Texans defense having to work real hard here at overtime. This is a defense that can do that, though. This defense can keep the Texans in the game despite the turnovers. Jimbo says, haven't watched any of the game today. Got a stomach bug. Need to put a TV in the bathroom. And it's an incomplete pass out of the backfield toward Henderson. And that's going to be a quick 3 and out for the Patriots. What a waste of an interception and a waste of a possession for the Patriots. I don't know about any of that play calling on that particular drive. What a waste, as C.J. Stroud is going to look to come back onto the field and do something. If I'm the Texans, I seriously consider putting Mills in. I Grow Fighting in the chat says, Houston fans also feeling sick, Jimbo. And the Texans will fair catch, and this will be down at the 10. 1:03 remaining in the second quarter. Texans get the kickoff first in the second half, so they get ball first. 10, the Texans get they got 90 yards to get a touchdown. Less than that if they want to try a field goal with Fairbairn and see if they can get 3 on the board. and making it an 8-point game. I got to tell, like, we'll see here, but nope. Stroud is still in the game. Throws at the feet of Hutchinson. And I'm sorry, that wasn't Hutchinson. That was Higgins. Incomplete. Second down and 10 from the 10. Troy Aikman just made a comment that Stroud doesn't look like he's playing quarterback right now. Says he looks like he's just throwing and hoping. And I don't often agree with Troy Aikman on many things, but on that one, I will agree with him. That is indeed what he is looking like right now. Stroud throws, and that one's way the hell off. That one was intended for Christian Kirk. 3rd and 10. 56 seconds remaining. Both teams have all 3 timeouts, by the way. Crafty sending Jimbo a feel better message. We're all hoping Jimbo feels better as he is apparently currently puking and shitting his brains out, which is never fun, never good, and we all certainly hope that Jimbo feels a lot better. A little Pepto-Bismol, perhaps some cheddar cheese. We got flags, and Stroud is going to be tackled after a 1-yard gain, but we'll see what the flag is. Illegal formation on Texans. They're going to decline that. 4th down. Pardon me. Jimbo says, well, we tried a new pizza place yesterday, and now me and the wife are laid up for the day. Ooh. You had a poop pizza. Somebody made pizza with poop on their hands. Oh, boy! This punt return brought all the way back to the Texans' 45-yard line with 36 seconds remaining. Can the Patriots maybe get into field goal range and make this a full 2-touchdown, 14-point lead before halftime? Next week, the AFC Championship, we will broadcast that along with you, 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock? It's o'clock, but I don't know. I'm from Jersey. Shut up. 3 o'clock on CBS. We'll be here with you for that. And then 6:30 will be the NFC Championship Game. And we will be here for that as well. 1st and 10. Drake May has the ball stripped out. And that might be Texan ball. Nope. New England ball. And it seems like the Patriots are going to let this clock run out for the rest of the half. ELS in the chat says, CJ Stroud sucks today. I mean, he wasn't great last week either. And that's the point. Like, look at the stats today for C.J. Stroud. Up on your screen there, you can see right over here. Oh, look at that. Oh, so very nice. Ooh. C.J. Stroud, 10 of 26. 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions for $124. I don't think this game is drunk, ELS. It's just 2 very good defenses going after each other, and Stroud gets real shook real easy. 2nd and 19 coming up here. The Patriots took a timeout with 13 seconds remaining, so they got 2 timeouts. They're still going to look to do something here. I thought they might have let the clock run out. They said, no, we want to do something. So now back on their own 46-yard line, 2nd and 19, May in shotgun. Takes the snap, throws. That's going to be caught That gets a couple of yards. There's 6 seconds left. 4, 3. Now they call another timeout with 4. They might put a couple seconds back on. Crafty's bringing up the point, and a very good point, that May doesn't feel the pressure coming off of his blind side, and that was the same problem that he had with the Chargers.
Go Chargers, go!
It's hard to argue that. By the way, they put 7 seconds on the clock here with 3rd and 11 from the Texans' 46-yard line. Patriots looking to see if they can get in field goal range quickly and get down. You got to get down or out of bounds fast enough to have time to kick the field goal. Drake May looks, surveys the field, throws. He's looking. No flag. Diggs was the intended receiver, and he was getting absolutely molested, and there is no flag. Meanwhile, they threw a pass interference flag against the Patriots a couple series ago that was highly dubious. This one is, I guess he's looking back at the ball, so yeah, that does negate a lot of that stuff. You can get a little more handsy if you're back looking at the ball. So with 2 seconds remaining, 4th and 11, the Patriots not close enough to kick a field goal. They're going to say, you know what, screw it. We're going to go all streaks. We're going to do a Madden all streaks play here. And May, Hail Mary throw, that's going to make it to the end zone. That's going to make it down there, and it's going to go down as an interception. It's going to count as an interception against Drake May. Do we really want to count as an interception against them? Probably not, but that is what it is going to go down as, and that's how the half ends. So the Patriots don't get any more points on the board. Texans get the ball first in the second half, and let's see if C.J. Stroud can get whatever is wrong between his ears figured out correctly, because he's spun right now. He is just at a loss for what to do. He's got the pressure has gotten to him, and that much is super clear. And I don't know if he's going to be able, he's got to do something. 4 picks in a first half. 10 of 16. You have thrown 10 passes. You've thrown 26 passes. 10 of those have completed. 16 have not. And of those 16 passes, 4 of those have been picked. And from what I've seen, there was another 2 or 3 that probably should have been picked. So you're talking about C.J. Stroud, of his 16 misses, only about 8 were non-dangerous misses. The rest either ended up as interceptions or what should have been interceptions or turnovers. So C.J. Stroud is not having a good time. Varunk in the chat, our English friend, says, why is Houston not benching Stroud? Because that's their starting quarterback. If they bench him, people will start freaking out. People will start yelling. Even though he's not playing well, it feels like they're in a situation where they're saying we're going to ride or die with C.J. Stroud. I would feel like, listen, there's no shame in the game. Go with Davis Mills. It's just not working with Stroud. See if Mills gets you anything. Because, again, back in the early part of this season, when the Texans weren't playing, Stroud did not play well in many parts of this season. And when he was injured for that long stretch and they had Davis Mills in there, that's kind of when the Texans started this winning streak they had. And you had people saying then, man, don't take Mills out. Mills was playing well. I would say, listen, this is your playoff life, man. You got to do whatever you can do. Throw Davis Mills in there. Ryan Clark, of course, saying to keep C.J. Stroud in. I don't think that's a surprise coming from Ryan Clark, as if you know, you know. I'm just listening to talking heads here talking about what do you do with Stroud? What do you do with Stroud? What do you do with Stroud? I don't know. Like, I think it's easy to say that you'd replace him. I don't know if you do. It feels like the Texans are they're going to ride or die with him. If they, I mean, it'd be a ballsy move to do that. Here's the thing: if you pull Stroud and you still lose, you've broken the locker room. You've instantly now fractured that locker room anyway, and now you've broken the trust between head coach and quarterback. If you leave him in there and you lose, you still might fracture the locker room. From some people, with guys in the locker room thinking maybe you should have went, change it, and do that. You also might keep some more people in the locker room on your side saying that, but you keep the quarterback head coach relationship good. If you switch quarterbacks and win, again, winning cures all ills, but I think still you break that connection, that bond, as it were, between head coach and quarterback. But you can always make that decision then at the AFC Championship game and be like, oh, well, we're going to start C.J. Stroud again. And just say it wasn't working for this game. We'll do that, That might be, again, there's no right answer. There's a lot of wrong answers that can happen. I don't think there's a right answer, but there's a lot of wrong answers. And everybody's saying like, well, we know the answer, you keep them in there, or we know the answer, you got to take them out. I don't think any one of those are the correct answer, the right answer. But I think each one of those you can look at and say that there are downsides to all of them. I think you could sit there and say that. So that's what I say when you're looking at the situation here. Anybody saying that they have either the right answer, I don't think you do. I don't think there is a right answer to whether or not you pull or keep in C.J. Stroud. But I think there is a lot of wrong answers that you can give. So Vrunk in the chat says he is mentally done. Again, can he come out in the second half? And I hate to give credit to Ryan Clark, and I don't want to, so I won't. But if he can come out in the second half and show some kind of poise that, maybe the team should have some kind of belief in him, maybe. But you come out on that first drive in the second half, and if he fumbles the ball, makes some real errant goddamn throws another pick, makes a bad decision on 3 plays or something like that, it's a 3 and out, whatever it is, I think if you're the Texans, you gotta at that point be like, we'll give him a series. And I that would be how I would have to say it if I'm in that locker room. I'd go, I'm like, listen, man, we're going to give you a series. Get your shit right. Get your head right. I don't know what it is. Whatever you got to do. You got to hit a bump in the bathroom or something. Go nuts. But whatever you got to do to get your head right, get your shit right. You got that first series. We'll see how we do in that first series if we're going to ride with you the rest of the way. We believe in you. We trust you. You're our captain of this team. You're all that kind of stuff. But you screw up. And maybe you don't sell that to him. You just tell him, hey, get your shit right. But you're telling everybody else. You're walking up to Davis Mills and being like, be ready. We're not putting you in yet, but be ready. That's how I would kind of go with that. All right, let me go grab some more coffee. And I will be right back here for the second We got about 56 seconds before the second half begins here. Texans will get the ball first in the second half to see if they can do something. If C.J. Stroud can somehow get his head in the game. Get your head out of your ass and get your head into the game. Is he going to be able to do that? We're going to find out here in just a couple of minutes here. Meanwhile, as you see me playing with my non-existent, well, I got hair here. This is non-existent here, as you can tell. But as I go around and play with my hair like I'm some kind of 80s surfer girl, thank you so much for joining us here on Stay Tuned Sports. My name is King. If you like any part of this broadcast, and I don't know why you would, I just called myself an 80s surfer girl for some reason. But if you do like anything on this particular channel, please, thank you. If you could, hit that like button. Thank you so much. That would be wonderful. Of course, hit that share button as well. Let the world know that we exist. That would be a fantastic help. And, of course, as always, if you haven't done so yet, or this is your first time here, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell as we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers and hopefully being monetized on this great and glorious platform known as YouTube. If you want to help us out a little bit more directly, we have a link for our donation station and our merch store in the top of the chat and in the description below. Working on getting a new donation station. I know I've heard from many people in the community saying that they wanted to donate, but the Buy Me a Coffee is a little bit of a bitch to actually send money to. They only take like limited money resources or whatever. You know, you only use it, I think, if you have Stripe or something. Meanwhile, Patreon, you can use PayPal or Venmo or whatever. So apparently that's just a lot easier to use. So we are in the midst of doing that, and we'll get there eventually. But again, if you have the ability to and want to, links top of the chat and in the description below. I'm gonna get more coffee, Pepper Jack, just like me, drinking coffee. I love you. You don't have to whisper. Just because they hear your voice doesn't mean, like, if you don't want to be on the stream, I get it, but you can still say, hi, how you doing, you know? You don't have to whisper. You know, if just because they can hear your voice doesn't mean your image is going to suddenly jump up on the screen. Pepper Jack will never be on a stream. I'm just going to point that out there right now. We used to do our own podcast. I missed that. That was fun. Calamity and the coffee was fun. Why'd you stop? Oh, I think you got a job. that was during COVID. COVID was a bitch. And the kickoff is going to be down for a touchback, so Houston gets it 1st and 10 from the 35. Let's see what happens here if C.J. Stroud can get right between the noggins, right between the ears there with the gray matter. Or will his issues continue? He had 4 interceptions in the first half. Stroud hands off on 1st down. That's going to be Woody Marks. He's going to get about 2. 2nd and 8 up to the 37. That's probably the right way to start. Start on the ground. Try to start with a nice base going to there. Oh, by the way, yep, let me change the H because it is no longer halftime. It is indeed the 3rd quarter. Stroud throws a big ball. It's going to be caught. Xavier Hutchinson gets that 23-yard pass, and that's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Texans all the way down on the New England 40-yard line. A little bit of a push off there on Hutchinson. First and 10, 13:51 remaining in the 3rd quarter. We've just started the second half here. C.J. Stroud takes the snap. Throws over the middle. It's going to be caught. Fumble! And that ball's going to be recovered by the Patriots inbounds. They might look at this to see if he had possession or not. We will see what the review says. For right now, they are saying it's a fumble and a turnover to the Patriots. Is he down before the ball comes out? It looks like he might be down, Hutchinson. So it's either going to be no catch or he's down. So we're going to move that back already preemptively because so no fumble, almost another disaster class for the Texans. But instead, that's going to be at the end of the day, it's a 5-yard gain after all of that down to the Patriots 35-yard line. Second and 6, not 2nd and 5. Sorry about that. So it's 2nd and 6 at the 36. Stroud and shotgun. Takes the snap, back, looks, throws. That is going to be caught by Higgins. Higgins gets that. That's going to be good for a first down. 8-yard gain down to the 28-yard line. 1st and 10, Texans. Stroud seems to be doing a little better so far. Again, only a couple passes here in the second half on this drive. We will see how this goes. This is going to be another handoff here to Woody Marks. Woody Marks is going to slice and dice his way down to the 21-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 7 yards. Sorry, that wasn't Woody Marks. That was actually Chubb. Pardon me for the incorrect call. Varunk in the chat says, come on, Texans. If I'm you, I'm kind of rooting for no more points to be scored whatsoever. Chubb is going to be close. He's going to be short by about an inch of the first down. That's going to be 3rd and literally like 2 inches. The weather is weathering there in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Massive two shits. Where the taxes are high, but so is everybody in the trailer park. The Texans have some confusion in the huddle. They don't know whose belongs, whose doesn't. I don't know why some talkings like that. Play clock at 4, at 3, at 2. They snap the ball. They're trying to go for the quick hurry up, and they do get the little tight end sneak there. And it's going to be first down. Stover with the carry for the Texans. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. They were lucky to get that play off, but it doesn't matter. Results in a first down at the Patriots' 15-yard line. Good opening second half drive for the Texans. They're saying the Texans might have moved a little early, but the officials don't call it on those tush-pushy kind of plays. Woody Marks. He's going to get it down about 2-3 yards short of the first down mark. That's going to be 2nd and 2 after an 8-yard gain at the New England 7-yard line. Vanuck says, oh, Texans fan, mate, I will take the comeback win even if it costs me my $100 bet. All right, hey, listen. It's your $100, man. That's what I mean. So if I were sacrificing that $100, go nuts. Stroud under center. Takes the snap, hands it off here, and that's going to be no gain. Woody Marks with the carry. So now 3rd and 2 coming up here for the Houston Texans and C.J. Stroud. Play clock down to 5. And I don't think, the Texans weren't even lined up there. They have to call a timeout. So an early timeout in the second half when you might need it as you're trailing here as the Houston Texans. But they take a timeout. Only 2 remaining now. 21-10, the Patriots lead. Texans facing a 3rd and 2 from the New England 7-yard line. 9:52 remaining in the third quarter. Varunk says they will go for 2 points if they score. Well, yeah, if you're able to make it 8 points, if you get 8 points there, that knocks the lead down to only 3 because you're down 11. Yeah, that'll work. But then if you don't get it, and then you're down by, 5? Not that it matters, really, at that point. You're talking about 4 points, 5 points. That doesn't matter. The 3 points, that would be good. So, I think at that point you go for the 2 points if you get the touchdown. Stroud looks, throws. That is tipped and incomplete. Great defensive play by, who's that? Marcus Jones again for the New England Patriots, and it's going to be 4th and 2. Marcus Jones has been all over this field all game. He has been the defensive MVP for the Patriots, and maybe just the MVP of the game overall for the New England Patriots. So with that, the Texans are going to settle for a field goal to make it an 8-point game. Snap, hold, kick. It is up, and it is good. And the Texans, they get some points on their opening drive of the second half, and they make it an 8-point game, 21-13. The Patriots still lead, and they will get their first possession of the second half. I'll say I think that was a very good, calm down, settle down drive for C.J. Stroud. Didn't look bad. Didn't have to make any incredible throws. Wasn't great on the drive, but wasn't terrible. He didn't make any super bad mistakes. So I'll give, you got to give credit where credit is due. Just reading some Twitter here, people getting upset. Varunk in the chat says, worst case scenario for me right now, Texans lose and the overs land. And look at that snow coming down at Foxborough. That right there is the number one reason domes suck. Get rid of the domes. Patriots going to get this, return it to the 25, to the 30, to the 32, perhaps, before pushed back, and that looks like where they'll start. So 1st and 10 for the Patriots at the 32-yard line. Really? Oh, they're going to mark it 31? I thought he got 32. Ramondre Stevenson gets the carry on 1st and 10. He's going to get 5? Or am I wrong on that one again? Or is he only give him 4? They give him 5. See, I know what I'm talking about. 2nd and 5 from the 36 coming up here for the Patriots. 9-10, 9:09, 9:08 remaining here in the third quarter. Drake May, he's going to be in shotgun. Takes the snap. He steps back. He looks, throws short. Oh, no. It looks like he was going to, Ramondre Stevenson looked like he was going to get away from that. And instead, gets tackled for 1 yard. Togiai? Is that his name? It looked like Stevenson was going to get away from him. And then he just, again, because these idiots wear the goddamn T-shirts outside of the, you got to tuck shirt in. Got to tuck shirt in. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know why you don't like to do that. I don't know what kind of culture thing that is or whatever, but that just cost you there because you could have sped through that line, and instead, now you're back with a 3rd and 6 on a loss. And that's a fumble. That's a sack fumble, and the Texans get that. Will Anderson Jr. gets the strip sack, the fumble, and it's Texan ball, and they are set up right there at the 35-yard line.
Too bad your ass got sacked.
And just like that, the Texans are a touchdown and 2-point conversion away from tying this game. Varunk in the chat is, come on, you beauty! Don't choke now, Stroud, says Varunk in the chat. Am I saying that name right? Is it Varunk? Is it meant to be something else? Is it like VAR, UNC? Like, am I just want to make sure I'm not, like, completely butchering that for you there. 1st and 10 for Stroud and the Texans. Play action, and Stroud is going to take a sack now. Back-to-back sacks. One for Drake May, where he fumbled the ball, and now Varunk with one.
But too bad your ass got sacked.
Varunk didn't get the sack. He's in the chat with us. But the Patriots get the sack there. Kason with the sack there. So that's going to make it 2nd and 18 after an 8-yard sack. All the way back at the 41-yard line. Play clock down to 3. The Texans snap it. Stroud throws over the middle. I think that got brought in there by Hutchinson. Nope, Higgins, sorry. I keep on messing up Xavier Hutchinson and Higgins. I don't know why. But that is going to be good for 12 yards. 3rd and 6 now, upcoming from the 29-yard line. Can the Texans convert here? Ooh, that looks like that might have hit the ground. Patriots will not challenge it. Getting pressure on Stroud. Stroud's going to pull it down and run it. He's going to get the first down and more. Goes out of bounds at the 18-yard line. 1st and 10. Gain of 11 for C.J. Stroud, and they move the chains. ELS says, Kings, if the Pats win, I think the Broncos have a chance to beat them. What makes you say that, ELS? I'd like to have your line of thinking on that. I'm not saying you're right, not saying you're wrong. I just want to know what your line of thinking is on that. Stroud and the Texans at the 19-yard line. 1st and 10. Stroud throws, and that's going to be good for 1 yard. Stover, the tight end, with the reception. You're going to give him 2 yards on that one? Eat shit. 2nd and 8 from the 17. Is it the amount of mistakes that the Pats offense has made, or is it the Texans defense playing very well? Pats crowd getting loud. 2nd and 8. Delayed handoff here to Woody Marks. He gets bounced back from the line of scrimmage, and then he fumbles the ball, and it's turned over. And the officials say that's new. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that is way out. That is way out.
Too bad your ass got sacked.
Nope, that's the wrong clip there. It wasn't sacked. That was a running play. That's what happens when you hit the space bar and you meant to hit shift. But that ball is way out, and that is a fumble by Woody Marks. And the Patriots have the ball. The Texans have their 5th turnover. The Patriots technically have 3, really only 2, because that Hail Mary at the end of the first half was intercepted. But I mean, it doesn't matter. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter. So if we're being realistic here, 5 costly turnovers for the Texans, 2 for the Patriots. Bit of a sloppy game in sloppy conditions, but the Patriots remain 21-13. The lead over the Texans. Texans had a chance there to really, even with a field goal, you make it 21-16. You're down 5 points. Then if you get a touchdown, you are in the lead. Varunk in the chat says shambles. Just in shambles. Good for the unders at least, but oh my God. Yeah, no, I mean, that's the one thing you got to look on the bright side about. The unders might hit, you know? Hila says the fact that this game is 21-13 and the Texans had 5 turnovers. Yeah, but you're forgetting the fact that the Texans have a very, very good defense. Maybe the best defense in the NFL. If you watched the Broncos yesterday against the Bills were able to really move the ball at will against that Broncos defense. If you tell me which defense I think is better right now, I think it's the Texans defense, and I don't think it's close. When compared to the Texans or Broncos, I think it's the Texans. And we'll see what the weather, like, you know, if there's a snowstorm in Denver, maybe that's one thing or another. But I'm saying if the Patriots win this game and move on to the AFC Championship game against the Denver Broncos, you'd have to say I like the Patriots offense still against that Broncos defense. I like the Patriots and Drake May to get some points on the board. And I don't know what we're getting with Jarrett Stidham. So I think when you have that and a bit of the unknown, like, I don't know how you can pick the Denver Broncos. As my upstairs neighbors seem to be having a very violent orgy. Have fun with that. Please be careful. Don't come through the ceiling. Don't Please don't come through anything. Don't need that. 1st and 10 for the Patriots, and Ramondre Stevenson is going to be stopped for a 2-yard loss. So that's going to move the ball back. 2nd and 12 from the 10-yard line. Drake May under center. It's really at the 9.5-yard line. Here's another handoff to Stevenson. And this one's going to be a 4-yard run. So now it's 3rd and 8 up at the 14. And I did just see that news as well. Titans moved up their in-person head coaching interviews. Will move back their head coaching interview with Robert Saleh. It was supposed to happen tonight via Zoom, but he will be in person. He's doing an afternoon one, I believe. Who's doing the? Someone's doing the. Stevenson, run to the outside, no gain there, and it's going to be 4th down, and the Patriots will punt. So the Patriots offense, I mean, super safe play calling. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that. Like, I guess, listen, you're inside your own 10 and 12 or inside your own 15, whatever it is. Maybe you do that, but it's been a lot since, honestly, the end of the first half with the couple of turnovers they had there, and now this one here. It seems like they're playing very ridiculously, almost dangerously safe, and it's that might come to bite them in the ass. Punt is away, 3 and out, so the Texans are going to do nothing but lose field position here, and that'll be fair caught at the 41. 1st and 10 for the Texans from their own 41 coming up here. That was it. Jeff Hafley they have in the morning. They got Nagy in the morning, Saleh in the afternoon, and then Hafley after that. So all three are going to be interviewing in Tennessee tomorrow. So Tennessee's really putting a hardcore press there on their, or full court press on their head coaching search there to see if they can get somebody quickly. As the Giants have filled their head coaching vacancy with John Harbaugh, the Falcons have filled their head coaching vacancy with Kevin Stefanski. Now, will the Titans close on their head coach candidate? Who would that be? We're going to find out. I'm surprised that the Falcons got one before the Titans. I honestly thought the Titans and Cam Ward and the situation there in Tennessee, even though it's still a little wonky, there might have been a bit of upside, a bit of rebuilding things, but you might have gotten more attention from. It goes like maybe Stefanski would have wanted to go there. But you got Stefanski in Atlanta. And so now Tennessee looking to see if they can pick up somebody, kind of being third on the tree there. I don't think they're finalists, ELS. I just think they're interviews. I don't think this is their finalists. I don't think this is it's not a tournament. You're not it's not like, oh, well, we've eliminated some, and now we're going to invite Saleh back. Saleh's having his first interview with them, I believe. I don't know if Hafley had an interview with them already or not, but I think this might be his first interview, so. Barunk in the chat says, come on, Stroudy, you got this. Stroudy's a new one. I don't know if I've heard Stroudy before. Look at that snow falling inside. God, what a beautiful sight. They would get that dumb, stupid floating graphic out of the way. You can actually just the beautiful snow falling in Gillette Stadium. That's a beautiful shot. But as far as your question there, ELS, of those three, if one of those three were to get the job, which one of them would it be? Oh, he's down on the knees already there. That was Chubb, I think. And indeed it was. 2nd and 7 after a 3-yard gain up to the 44-yard line. I think if the Titans have their pick of the litter from those three, I think they would probably end up with Hafley. If Hafley goes to, it depends. If Hafley wants to go to Miami, then he'll go there, and then they might get Saleh. For some reason, I feel like Saleh is going to go to Arizona. Throws, bounced in the air, and then falls incomplete for Stroud. He was looking to get to Xavier Hutchinson. Should have been picked. It should have been picked, and then it should have been picked when it bounced in the air. 2 chances for the Patriots, and they missed it. 2:48 remaining in the third. ELS thinks that Saleh will be the Titans head coach. Stroud looks, throws, incomplete, and they're going to throw flags on that? They do. That's going to end up being a first down on a flag. Well, he's grabbing his arm, so, yeah. Can't be grabbing the arm. And that's a big penalty. 21-yard penalty. That brings it all the way down to the Patriots' 35-yard line. 1st and 10, Texans. Again, for some reason, it just feels like Saleh is going to be the Cardinals head coach. If the Titans pick him up. If the Titans don't get Hafley, maybe they get Saleh. I don't think anybody hires Nagy. I don't think anybody wants to hire Nagy. 1st and 10, Stroud from the 35. He's going to throw in and out of the hands of Stover. It looks like he kind of hitched up there a little bit with his left leg. Incomplete, 2nd and 10. Patriots now currently leading the poll. 57% of the people think the Patriots are going to end up with the victory here this evening. They currently lead 21-13 with 2:37 remaining in the third quarter. 2nd and 10 from the Patriots 35 for C.J. Stroud and the Texans. Empty backfield. He takes the snap. He's getting pressure. He's getting harassed. And then he gets sacked. Oh, that's going to be a 3-yard sack. And we've got an injured Patriot on the ground.
But too bad your ass got sacked.
Anthony Jennings, the person who got the sack, is down. And he got up, and now he's back down. Stroud was immediately under pressure and facing some problems. I'll say this, at least he held on to it. At least he held on to it. Because here's the other thing, too. I honestly feel like if they don't get Hafley, they might go Mike McDaniel. Titans, ELS, I think Mike McDaniel might get a look in Tennessee. I don't think Mike McDaniel's going to get the Baltimore job. I'll say this, too. and maybe it's because of the hometown thing or whatever, I could see Mike McCarthy getting the Pittsburgh job. I can see Pittsburgh kind of actually going with him. And again, it wouldn't be a 20-year, 25-year coaching legacy like they're used to. But I could see Mike McCarthy there in Pittsburgh. He's a Pittsburgh guy. You know, you have some of that. Like, again, if you're Pittsburgh, you know, yeah, you're all the fans. You're screaming, oh, get rid of Mike Tomlin, get rid of Mike Tomlin. It's like, okay. You know, but now you look at it, if you're Pittsburgh, who's out there? Who's out there to get as a head coach? Who do you want as a head coach? That's the thing. I would have to ask the Pittsburgh fans. And if we have any Pittsburgh fans watching out there, who would you pick? Who do you want to be your head coach? Of the candidates that are available out there right now, coordinators, old head coaches, retreads, whatever, of anybody that is available to be your head coach, who do you want to be your head coach in Pittsburgh? Chat room's open. Come in and say hi, say hello, say how you doing. Make sure you set it to either live chat or all messages, depending on if you're on desktop or on your mobile, and make sure you see all the messages. But yeah, send that. That's what I want to know from Pittsburgh fans. Stroud steps back, looks, throws on 3rd and 13. They're actually going to say that's complete down to the 33-yard line. But I was going to say, I thought that was incomplete. But no, that is actually a catch. 4th and 8 on the 33. And the Texans are going to go for a field goal here to make it a 5-point game. Fairbairn, snap, hold, kick. That is up, and it is good. And just like that, we have a 5-point game. 21-16. The Patriots lead, but it is shrinking little by little. That might be who was there? Who the hell was their OC again? I forget. But that might be just because Cleveland is even first-time head coaches don't want to have their first job be Cleveland. Nobody wants to go to that organization. It's a bad organization. I hate to tell you this, Browns fans. I really do. But as coming from somebody who has seen a bad organization, you have a bad organization. Here's the thing, though. The Giants realized their shit wasn't working. And that's why, as part of his contract, John Harbaugh said, I am restructuring the entire organization from scouting to training to analytics to everything. I'm bringing in my own stuff, my own guys, and we're going to restructure this whole organization. And Mara and the Giants ownership said, yep, we're going to do that. Why? Because the shit we've been doing, the way we've been doing, ain't working. The Browns have Jimmy Haslam, and you have Andrew Berry there as your general manager who has completely cocked up your entire organization. If you want one person to blame, Andrew Berry. If you want two people to blame, Andrew Berry and Jimmy Haslam. Patriots going to get this, and they return up to the 30-yard line, and that is where they will get on the kickoff. So, 1st and 10 from the 30 for the Patriots. And it seems like that's not changing. You fire Stefanski. Here's the thing. Here's where you have to know that you're completely screwed up and a bad organization is when you fire your head coach and keep your general manager and are like, the results aren't there. You fire your head coach because you think he's the problem, and he instantly becomes the top coaching candidate in the coaching cycle. Hooper, tight end. He's going to get that catch there from Drake May, and that's going to be good for a first down. Gain of about, 12, 13 yards on that one. They're going to give him 14 yards. Drake May to Hooper, hanging with Mr. Hooper. That shows you the level of your organization and I think how bad you are. And then we'll really see. We'll see how Stefanski does with the Cardinals, with the Falcons, and see how he does there. Drake May, play action, rolls out to his right. He's going to pull it down and then slides down Right at the line of scrimmage, no gain, 2nd and 10. Oh, Tommy, yeah, former Notre Dame. That's why I was like, I know who it is, but I couldn't remember the name. Tommy Reese. Yeah, he might get it. Varun, and again, I used I actually looked up what your channel name was, so Varun in the chat says Texans win 24-21, best case scenario. And the Patriots are going to let this clock run all the way down. And so that's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Third quarter is done and dusted. Get the fours up. You know, you guys see the players on the sideline. You ever go to a game, you see all the players, the coaches, the staff. They throw the fours up when the fourth quarter comes. Why? Because they're dedicated for all 4 quarters. We here at Stay Tuned Sports are dedicated for all 4 quarters. Taylor Swift, she's dedicated. Oh, there we go. She's dedicated for all 4 quarters. She's got the fours up. You got the fours up here. If you're in the chat, get the fours up and show that you, too, are as dedicated to all 4 quarters of the football game as the players, as the staff, as the coaches. Thank you so much for joining us here on Stay Tuned Sports. If you like anything about this particular show, this program, this particular live stream, please hit that like button. It helps us out tremendously. Please, if you would also want to go ahead and hit that share button, let the world know this channel exists. That helps us out as well. And, of course, if you haven't done so yet, or you're just here for the first time, please hit that subscribe button as we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers and hopefully being monetized on this great and glorious platform known as YouTube. Pecan's got his 4 Taylor Hard-Ons there in the chat. I Grow Fighting's got the 4 up. ELS has got his 4 fours up. I Grow Fighting has how many interceptions has CJ thrown? 4. Ha ha! I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Ah, yeah, cheeky little bastard. You cheeky bastard. Crafty says 4's in the chat. You making fun of my Jersey accent there, Crafty? How dare you? How dare you, sir? When it comes to the Baltimore Ravens, I honestly don't know who they're going to get as their head coach. Maybe Hafley. Hafley could be there. I don't know. What would you do? ELS in the chat says, King, question, what in the world happened to you Devils? You're second to last, only ahead of the Rangers. Oh, dude, the bottom just fell out of the season. We did well. Like, the first 2 weeks, Devils were gangbusters. We were like 8-1-1 or something. Like, we were ridiculously good. And it looked like, okay, we're going to make a real statement this year. And then, what was that? Jack Hughes got hurt during a dinner with Frank the Tank from fucking Barstool. Trying to curse less, but yeah, he got hurt at a dinner with Frank the Tank from Barstool Sports and the Chris Creamer Sports logo message boards. And it went all downhill from there, and it's been just downhill ever since. Now we're talking about they're apparently looking to trade Dougie Hamilton. We're looking to we're blowing shit up. Like it's bad. It's just bad. It's just bad time to be a Devils fan. And just in time for me to get ready to start streaming some hockey here on the goddamn stream. So that'll be fun. First play of the fourth quarter. Pass out wide here to Stevenson. That's going to be good for 2 yards. 3rd and 8 from the 45-yard line coming up here for the Patriots. Jarrett Stidham, 4 career starts. He's 1-3 in those starts, no playoff appearances. And his last pass attempt was back in Week 18 of 2023 at Las Vegas. Drake May on 3rd and 8, looking through. That's got to be a flag and a half. Jesus, he tackled the guy. My God. And, listen. When you put your hands all over a booty like that, and it's unwanted, that was unwanted booty grabbing, you're going to get called for an infraction. And you got to pay the price when you unwantingly grab some booty. And now it's going to be a 1st down and 10 for the Patriots at the Houston Texans, 38-17-yard penalty. Henderson moving those legs, churning those legs, gets 6 yards down to the 32, 2nd and 4. Crafty says refs finally remembered that the PI rules apply to the Texans as well. I didn't want to say anything because I don't want to seem like have somebody come and say, oh, my God, you're a Patriots homer. It's like, I'm a Giants fan. Fuck the Patriots. But let's be honest. It's been a little, the calls have been a little wonky in this game. Oh, handoff to Henderson, and he is met in the backfield almost as soon as he grabbed the ball. 2-2-0-0-2-2-2-2-2-2 with the hit in the backfield, and that's going to end up being, they're going to say no yard gain. I felt like that was a loss, but they're going to give him back up to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 4 coming up. iGirl Fighting says, I'm on that Mountain Dew Baja Cabo Citrus soda. May, 3rd down, throws. Big ball down the field. Holy shit! Did Booty catch that? Oh, my God! %100 catch of the playoffs. And that's going to be up there for catch of the year. One-handed, brings it down, and that's a touchdown for the Patriots. Oh, boy. What an incredible catch by Booty. I am stunned. Unreal. We saw, you'll never see a more magnificent Booty than that. I think he has possession. Whether or not it touches the ground, he has possession. The ball doesn't move. It doesn't jostle out of his hands. That is a catch all day. That is a catch. Oh, my. Pecan says, hell of a catch. Highlight reel catch. ELS says, what a touchdown. Unreal catch. I Grow Fighting in the chat says, what a moment. Crafty says, that should be, if it stands, it's the dagger. They're reviewing it. I don't know how you overturn it. I don't know how you overturn it at that point. And my stat tracker just came back and says that they have upheld the ruling on the field. It is a touchdown. The touchdown counts. The touchdown stands. ELS says that is your dagger. As the Patriots go up 11 points again, a field goal will make it 12 points. If they go for 2, it'll be 13. But the touchdown stands for the Patriots. Wow, what a catch. What a catch. I was watching it all the way down. I was like, first of all, it did look a little PI. It looked like he was grabbing his arm. And I was like, that's gonna be one. And I was like, I don't know. That seems like one of those. He's gonna get it. He's gonna grab it, and he might have it for a second. But when he hits the ground, it's gonna pop out. That's what it felt like. And when you see him hit the ground, ball doesn't move. He rolls over and he has it. What a hell of a catch! Holy wow. Varun in the chat says, under's done. Houston done. An absolute dagger to your heart. And yeah, on to the next game, says Varun. Well, we'll see what the betting is like in that one. We'll see how we go there. I Grow Fighting says CJ will top it, going for 6 interceptions. What is the most interceptions thrown in the playoff game? That's actually a really good question. And now they come back. They do show that it is indeed good. And the extra point gets a little wonky there, but it does go through. 28-16, 12-point lead for the New England Patriots. Wow. Unbelievable catch from Booty. Make all your booty jokes you want. Let's talk about booty jokes. That's fine. You got to make the booty jokes there. But what? Wow. Wow. Unbelievable catch. The record for most interceptions thrown in an NFL playoff game, by the way, is 6, and it's shared by 4 quarterbacks: Brett Favre, Norm Van Brocklin, Bobby Night Train Lane, and Frank Flitchock. What a great name! Philchock. Almost sounds like Philcock, and that's a completely different kind of name. Frank Philcock. He's been in a couple of films. With Favre being obviously the most recent in 2002. These quarterbacks all threw 6 interceptions in their respective playoff losses. So nobody who's thrown 6 interceptions in a game, and there's been 4 quarterbacks to do so, ever won their playoff game. But 6 is the record. Texans are going to take the kickoff and return it to the 23-yard line, 1st and 10. Houston from their own 23. No, at this point, if you're the Texans, it's you're getting to, we can't waste time. You're down to 2 timeouts, too. That's the thing, too. You're down a timeout. You only have 2 timeouts, and you got 12 minutes and 51 seconds, which may seem like a lot, but you've got maybe 2 possessions, 3 possessions if your defense is able to hold the Patriots. So you got to move. You got to move quickly. They're going to start off running, though. Pitch out to Marks, and Marks is going to get 6 yards on that carry. I can say only 4 yards. Okay. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at then. 2nd and 6. I am trying to curse less. Currently, according to ESPN metrics, the New England Patriots have a 92.1% chance of winning at this moment at 12:30 remaining in the 4th quarter. We'll keep an eye on that. DJ Stroud takes the snap in shotgun. He steps back, throws deep ball, incomplete. The ref was reaching for his flag and then decided, no, not going to throw it. Higgins was the intended receiver. 3rd down and 6. Coming up here for the Texans as it is getting close to desperation time. He does hit him a little early. Not going to lie there. We got to call it fair as fair. That's straight up holding. But that was away from the play. So here we go. 3rd and 6. Play clock hits 0. And the Texans take a timeout. Oh, the Texans now down to only 1 timeout in a 2-possession game. Oh, wow. Yeah, on the bottom of the screen it was a hole, but it was away from the play. So I wonder if the officials are like, we're gonna let that go, which I would rather them do anyway. When it comes to any of these, if there's something like so far away from where the play's happening, like that it doesn't have an impact on the play, keep the fucking flag in the pocket, guys. Like, what are we doing? 3rd and 6. I did kind of notice that, Crafty. Stroud steps back, no pressure. Throws, and then almost and then Stover's on the ground. He was on the ground before the ball was ever thrown. And again, it's that knee. It was the same knee he was like looking at before. And I wonder if there was something there, something screwed up with it before, and now something just snapped in it. But that might be the case. Because he goes out, this looks completely non-contact. He's out in the flat. He's running for it, and then he looks, and then just the leg just goes right out from under him. It was thrown behind him. And as he looked to kind of stop and turn to get it, his knee, his right knee, from what it appears, kind of just gave out from. And I think that was the same. It might have been his right or left, but I think it was the right. I think it was the same knee. Crafty says Stroud just got Stover murdered. I mean, if Stover caught that pass, he would have been murdered anyway. But throwing it behind him the way he did and making him twist his leg like that on a knee that it looked like was already bothering Stover, like that looks like that could be it looks like something ripped. It looks like you hate to see that, but it's those kind of plays you see that, and it's like, we've seen, unfortunately, a lot of those to where it's like, we hate to be, the armchair doctors here, but from this vantage point, that looks like some kind of knee ligament damage, whether that's ACL, MCL, patella tendon, whatever. Varun in the chat says, I'm sure Houston feels great about not benching Stroud. Again, you'd have to take some calls. You'd have to take some opinions. We'd have to see what some Texans fans think. We usually do have a Texan fan that comes into the chat. Again, I think he's maybe a little bit more distracted with the game than coming in here to be a part of the stream. But I'd love to have what his insights are about what he thought during this game, if they thought they maybe should have benched Stroud at halftime. Maybe go to Davis Mills. Because, again, I'll say this. Stroud, again, he hasn't played great in the second half, but he hasn't played nearly as bad as he did in the first half. So I'll give him that. Like, Stroud has played better in the second half. Now, again, it doesn't take much to play better than how bad he played in the first. But he's played better. Not great, but not nearly as bad. That being said, he is 16 of 37 for $178. 1 touchdown and 4 picks. Drake May, however, is 15 of 24 for $165 so he's several yards less, but he has 3 touchdowns and 1 interception, and that 1 pick was a Hail Mary at the end of the first half that was rather inconsequential. And the Texans on 4th and 6 are going to punt the ball. They have 1 timeout. There's 12:08 remaining, and they are punting the ball. And that punt is going to go all the way down and be down at about the 3-yard line, where that's officially going to be marked down. So 1st and 10 for the Patriots from their own 3, as the weather is continuing to weather there in Foxborough, Massachusetts. ELS says, King, I know where Irish is. Where is Irish, ELS? And don't make a joke at our good friend's expense. If you actually know where he is, you can tell me. Crafty says, an Irishman on Sunday, just check his local bar. Oh, you're going to say that he's hanging out down at the markets there, checking out all the big booty Latinas that he was talking about? Oh, he's in Dino's Draft House chat on YouTube. Okay, he's cheating on us? How dare he? No, that's fine. Like I said, I don't, I just, eventually, he'll come in here eventually at some point, whether it's in the next game or maybe for the national championship tomorrow night or, at some point he'll come in. And that's just a question we'll ask him. Like, what would you have done with C.J. Stroud in that game? Crafty says, why is that boy shirtless? Because everybody's dumb when they're young and stupid. I don't know how young he just might have been drunk. He could be an old drunk man. When you're young and stupid or drunk and stupid, those are usually the 2 reasons why. That's going to be a handoff on Henderson for 2nd and 2. And that's going to be good. So Stevenson had an 8-yard run and then a 6-yard run. Patriots have it up at the 18-yard line, 1st and 10. They're moving the ball and eating the clock. Right now, if you're New England, the best thing you can be, say it with me, ladies and gentlemen, is be the best clock suckers you can be. You got to suck that clock for all it's worth and get it all the way down. And he also visits Rhino Stream. Yeah, we had Rhino come in here once or twice. Ramondre Stevenson, as Joe Buck said, they're going to ride him. A couple of clock suckers just riding each other here. And that's going to be good for, they're going to give him 9 yards. I thought only 8, but they're going to give him 9 down to the 27-yard line, 2nd and 1 upcoming. Adam Schefter reporting that the Broncos are signing quarterback Ben DiNucci to their practice squad to possibly be elevated for the AFC Championship game as a backup or as a starter. We'll see. Ramondre Stevenson again gets the carry, and again he's going to get a 1st down. Gain of a roughly 3 yards. Move the chains, move the clock. 1st down, Patriots. The snow really coming down now in New England. I like the signing of DiNucci, of what's out there, of what maybe you have the ability to get. DiNucci's not bad. DiNucci can give you a good game. We've seen that with the Cowboys, and I think he has that kind of ability. And that's going to be another handoff here. That's going to be Henderson as Stevenson gets a little bit of a breather on the sidelines. As New England's going to be content to just run the ball, and especially if they're running it like this, that's a 6-yard gain for Henderson. 2nd and 4 from the 35 for the Patriots. Oh, that's going to be a loss on the play for the Patriots. They had 2nd and 4 from the 35. That's going to knock them back a 3-yard loss. Trayvon Henderson with the carry there. It's now 3rd and 7 from the 32. But the clock keeps on ticking. 8:20 remaining in the 4th quarter and counting. ELS says, King, I know who the Broncos need for the AFC title game. Tommy DeVito. But Tommy DeVito right now is, I believe he's the emergency quarterback for the Patriots. So I don't think the Patriots are going to give up Tommy DeVito to the team that they might be playing in the AFC Championship game. A throw to Stephon Diggs on 3rd and 7, and that's going to be good enough for a 1st down. Move the chains, keep running the clock, and the Patriots are doing exactly what they need to do. 14-yard gain up to the 46-yard line, 1st and 10. Pats. The more time ticks off the clock, the closer we get to a Patriots-Broncos AFC Championship matchup. That'll take place next Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern on CBS. Ramondre Stevenson gets hit immediately in the backfield. Loss of 2 yards, 2nd and 12. But the clock keeps ticking. The Texans only have 1 timeout remaining. Boston Connor from the Pat McAfee Show just tweets, pound the rock, as I'm sure every Patriot fan is thinking as well. 2nd and 12. Another handoff. This one's going to get back up to about the 48-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 4 yards, 3rd down and 8. Clock continues to run. The Patriots are sucking that clock like a goddamn professional. Varun says, is the 45.5 still live? Let's see. Let's see. 28, 38, 39, 41. 23. Yeah, you are. As long as nobody scores another point, you'll be fine. Oh, 3rd and 8. High arcing rainbow shot, but it falls incomplete to Williams, and that stops the clock. And it makes it 4th and 8, and the Patriots from their own 48-yard line will have to punt. Snow just coming down real heavy now. But they must have that good heating coils underneath that field at Gillette because it is not accumulating at all. Fair caught at the 13-yard line for the Texans. So with, about 5:54 remaining? 5:48 remaining. The Texans down a couple of scores here. 12 points, actually. Hila says, listen, it's January. Of course it's snowing in Wisconsin. Stroud throws incomplete on 1st and 10. 2nd and 10 coming up. Harrison Bryant, the tight end, was the intended receiver, filling in as both Dalton Schultz, and now Stover, both out of this game. Schultz out with a calf injury. Stover seems to be out with some sort of knee injury. 2nd and 10. Stroud back, throws over the middle. It's going to be caught. Bryant does get that one. Good for 9 yards. 3rd and 1 for the Texans up at the 23-yard line. Stroud takes the snap. Texans trying to move fast. Bryant again. He's the receiver. He gets it. It's going to get it down to about the 29, 1st and 10 Texans. But the clock is ticking. 5:10 and counting. Texans have just one timeout. Stroud can't find anybody. Now just chucks it up out of bounds, incomplete, 2nd down. He's finally realizing, hey, that's how you throw a ball away. Second and 10, 4:59 remaining for the Texans. Throws over the middle, incomplete. Looking for Hutchinson. Does not get it. Gonzalez in on the defense there. 4:54 remaining, 3rd and 10 for the Texans. Third down and 10. Stroud in shotgun takes the snap. Patriots only send 4. And they get to him anyway. Sack him back at the 20.
But too bad your ass got sacked.
And now it's 4th down and 18. Back at their Texans' 21-yard line. You have one timeout. You got to go for it. And now the Texans are punting the ball. This is the Texans saying, I quit. They are throwing the white flag up. The Texans have given up. The Texans concede defeat. Punt gets all the way down to the 15-yard line of the Patriots. Hell of a punt. And it gets returned up to about the 27-yard line. And so there is 4 minutes and 3 seconds remaining. First down and 10 for the Patriots from their own about, 27-yard line. Varun says, please punt now. Now you want the punts. Because, listen, you might get your bet. The Texans might lose, which is bad because you're rooting for the Texans. But you might win your bet. So, there's one thing that can make the heartbreak of seeing your team get eliminated from the playoffs hurt a little less. Money. Couple of quid in your pocket, eh, Gov? That was a terrible English accent. I can't do accents well. I don't care. You are free to hate me as much as you want, Varun. Stevenson keeps himself in bounds. Smart play. Keeps the clock running. And that's going to be a gain of about 9. 2nd and 1 up to the 37. Patriots playing smart football. The snow is just pouring down in New England. Crafty says D'Amico Ryans is like, let's just go the home at this point. And it appears that the Texans will go yet another playoff run without winning a divisional round playoff game. That'll make them 0-7 in their history in the divisional round of the playoffs. And the funny thing is, going into the playoffs, I said, man, I think the Jaguars and the Texans are two teams I would consider to be the most dangerous coming out of the AFC. And now it appears that neither one of them, the Jaguars didn't even get to the divisional round, and the Texans will not get past the divisional round, as it'll be the New England Patriots and the Denver Broncos in the AFC Championship Game next Sunday, 3 p.m. on CBS. And with your good friend King here on Stay Tuned Sports. Well, Jimbo's your good friend. I'm your boy King. That's the difference. Jimbo will always be your good friend. Jimbo is the good friend. I could be a friend. I don't know how good I am. I'll be a friend. Why not? Pecan in the chat says, I agree with ELS. Broncos can beat this Patriots team. Maybe. If you put Ben DiNucci, maybe. If Ben DiNucci could. I think Ben DiNucci gives you a better chance than Jarrett Stidham. I'll say that. So if they are going to sign DiNucci and have him in there, I think DiNucci gives you a shot. Patriots take a timeout, by the way. Varun in the chat saying, let's go unders. He put $100 on the unders. So as long as nobody else scores a point, the unders will hit. Will he? Will there be a bad? I hope there's not a bad beat situation. Like there's a late pick six or something, and somebody scores. It's like some like ridiculous kind of play. Crafty says, in all 3 of Ryan's years as coach, he's blown out a team in the wild card round and then lost in the divisional round. Yeah, not great. First and 10 for the Patriots from their own 39. It's going to be no gain. 2nd and 10 coming up. As we are now under 3 minutes to play. I don't know. Like I said, to me, it feels like, I didn't have much love for the Broncos offense anyway. I think if you go with DiNucci, I think DiNucci is good enough of a quarterback to manage a game, and then you put it in the hands of your defense and hope for the best. Outside of that, though, I really think the Patriots win that game. I would have picked the Patriots if Bo Nix was starting, to be honest with you. Again, I can't buy into the Broncos, but that is what it is. Lloyd in the chat joining us late. Great to see you, Lloyd. We are at 2:09, 2:08, 2:07. We're going to about to hit the 2-minute warning with 3rd and 10 coming up here for the Patriots. Crowd is getting loud as the snow gets heavier, as we see more shirtless idiots in the crowd. Why is it that the women never take the shirts off in the crowd? It's always just the guys bare-chested. Ladies, step your game up. Let the girls fly in the snow. Varun in the chat says, one more first down and the game is over. And they might not get a first down. We'll see. If they do, it is over. If not, they'll punt the ball to the Texans, and we'll see what happens. Just, again, I hope you don't get a bad beat. Because right now there is a total of, 44 points in this game? And the over-under was 45 and a hook. So you had 45 and a half. So as long as not one more point gets scored, because if there was, you can't score 1 point in the NFL. It's not like Canadian football. You don't have the rouge. Although now Canada doesn't have it either. I finally got my first win, though, Lloyd. I finally got one with the Patriots. So there we go. ELS wants me to see an interesting fact. Hold on a second, because I still got to get all this stuff ready here for the next stream. Because guys, we have another stream, by the way. And that. Put this in here. And just get that ready. Let's see. All right, so that's all set. Get my links up here. Okay. We got that all set up there. All right, now let me check out what ELS had here. Let's see. Yeah, no, CJ Stroud had a rough half. Throw on 3rd and 10, incomplete. From Drake May down the field. He was looking for Austin Heeper, his tight end there. So 4th and 10, clock is stopped with 1:54 remaining, and the Patriots will have to punt from their own 39-yard line. Pecan says, I need the Bears to win, and I'll be 4 for 4 on this divisional weekend. My chair is like shedding on me. It's that, got that pleather shit on it. Lloyd says, the Bears will win. I got the Rams. I think the cold and the weather, the wind coming off of Lake Michigan there, it's going to be I think that is a bit of an equalizer for the Bears, but I still got the Rams. I think the Rams are just a more talented team. Stroud on 1st and 10. Woody Marks gets it down to the 41-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Texans. Clock keeps ticking. Lloyd says King is growing into the chair. Yeah, I think just this place is so dry with the radiators. It just makes the damn chairs and everything around like flake. It's terrible. Six-yard gain on that pass to Harrison Bryant, the tight end. Again, they're running out of tight ends there in Houston. 2nd and 4. He was able to get out of bounds, so stops the clock at 1:19. 2nd and 4 coming up from the 47. Varun in the chat is like, do not score now, Houston. Do not score now. Oh, again, a behind. Like C.J. Stroud has been throwing behind and over his receivers all game. Just a really, 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 and again, I'm not going to sit here and say C.J. Stroud is a terrible quarterback. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, he's bad, anything like that. But if you want to look at this game just in its own little box, this was a terrible game from C.J. Stroud. Just a very bad game. Stroud throws, again, way too high, looking for Bryant, his tight end. Incomplete, 4th and 4, 1:11 remaining. The Texans used their final timeout, by the way. I guess I missed that somewhere along the way, but there it is gone. Fourth and 4, Patriots are going to take their second timeout. Pecan trying to work his shinky. Hey, ELS, congrats on the Rams. ELS says, I don't think that jinx works. I think it only works for the Packers. Matt Stafford has a sprained throwing finger. And he's got to play in -1 degree Chicago. Well, see, I said it's going to be a little bit of an equalizer there, the weather is. Stroud throws down the field, open. That's going to be incomplete. They say incomplete. Hutchinson almost came down with that, which would imagine if the Texans would have went for a field goal and then gone for a 2-point kick or gone for an onside kick or something. God, Varun would have been nuts in the chat. Instead, it goes incomplete. Turnover on downs. 1st and 10 for the Patriots. They can just kneel on this one, and it will be over in Gillette. Pecan in the chat says, I tried. You might, maybe if it's in that chat. So when I start that stream in a couple of minutes, maybe that's the stream you got to start. Patriots in victory formation. They take the knee, and then one more knee will end this. Crafty says Stafford has an injury. Yes, apparently he has a sprain to his throwing index finger. So his index finger on his throwing hand has a sprain, and they are in super cold-ass weather, so... Varun, you won your bet. Barely, but you won it. And that's the key. Doesn't matter how close you win or how close you lose, just that you win it. And you won. Your Texans didn't win, but you did. And you're a winner. You're a winner in my book, Varun. As long as we're saying here we're being honest with each other, you're a winner in my book, my friend. And with that final kneel down, the Patriots are in their first AFC Championship game since 2018. What a stretch. Oh, my God, the Patriots have been gone for so long from the AFC Championship game, but now they're back. Back again. Pats are back. Holy shit. It just never seems to end. And as we went from the Patriots to the Chiefs, we might be going right back to a Patriots dynasty. Oh, my God, it just never ends. Crafty says he got that in the Panthers game when he hit a helmet, if he remembers correctly. Well, we'll see, and we'll see what kind of impact that has on him for that game. But for right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's over here from Gillette, the best a man can get stadium, as the Patriots are victorious, and they will now travel to Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, Colorado, to take on either Jarrett Stidham or Benvenuti Gabagool in the AFC Championship game. That'll be a fun one, and we'll be here with that for you next Sunday, 3 p.m., sharp, baby. But next up, we've got the NFC Divisional playoff game between the Rams and the Bears to see who's taking a trip to Seattle to take on, boy, that Seattle defense and the Seahawks. We'll find out who wins in that game in just a few minutes. Jumping over to that stream right now. Make sure that you are subscribed so that you'll get the notification. You can jump right over. But literally starting that stream as soon as this one ends. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. See you over there. This has been Stay Tuned Sports. I'm your boy King. Rams Bears coming up next.